Boom. All right, we're live. We'll give everybody a few minutes to roll in here. It's been a shit show already.
Minutes to roll in.
Yeah, like the chat, you know?
To slide in.
We're already here.
What do you
Just
mean?
go
What am I
right
talking
in there,
about?
You know what I'm saying?
Just fucking start the stream. Bro. Say something.
Just give everybody some time to slide into Jeremy's
Just
Wait.
give everybody
channel.
a chance to warm up, lube
There's
up a little bit.
All right, there's
Hard,
like
deep,
little
stiff,
foreplay
and rough
around
with
here.
no lubrication.
there is too much
Like,
diversity
no,
on
I'm
this
going
panel.
dry.
There's too much diversity on
There's
this
no
panel.
diversity. You're all
Listen,
gay.
it's only because I haven't looted enough to afford a plane ticket to LA yet. Okay.
I'll loot something for you. Identify as black. I'll go right
You
now.
know what? How about you not, Phil? After what you did on Friday,
What happened on Friday?
did it do?
you didn't hear about Phil's cake stream?
I did. I heard about it. I haven't seen it, but I heard about
can't
it.
even stole my idea. Did it for half the price and didn't even finish the.
Was it your idea or was
He
it
didn't do
suggested
it?
to you?
No, it was my idea.
Oh, okay. I'm not surprised.
Yep.
What does that mean?
And then Phil, they're just trying to make a fat joke, but you know what? I got paid $500 to ingest a bunch of sugar, and I don't fucking care. Because here's the thing: I would have done it for free. That's what
You
Richter
heard it here,
does. I
chat.
learned this from Jeremy
Free.
a long time ago. But Phil tries to eat this fucking cake. His wife makes him some weird ass like Japanese like rice and like.
She
water
did wind
pudding
up making the
cake.
cake.
what?
I asked Phil, is your wife going to make the cake for you?
No,
He
she
said,
didn't- she
no,
didn't
she
make the
doesn't
cake.
bake.
No, she did. She didn't make the cake. We bought.
Okay, thank you.
We
Fake
bought
Where
news
did
cake
for
you
from
Mike.
buy a
Uncle Tetsu.
Japanese cake, Phil?
Yeah, we bought a Japanese cheesecake.
Where do you
cake.
buy that from,
Oh,
Phil?
cheesecake
know,
is a little
man.
bit more dense.
Uh,
More
Uncle-
dense.
These facts
Uncle
aren't lining
Tetsu.
up, if you ask me.
Has anyone
Uncle
noticed
Tetsu.
something that you know how aggressively Ryan says the word black? That's how Mike says Phil's name. Like he says
Yeah.
it with such
Phil!
aggression
Phil!
and rage. You
It's
know?
only because I can't say what I'm really wanting to say because we get demonetized.
But you say it with the same tone.
I join into him eating this cake and he's already complaining. He's taking 2 bites. And then he goes, I have hot tea with me now. His wife's bringing him hot tea. She's coming in there. And you can hear her quietly, through his mic going, you better finish that fucking cake.
Yeah.
He's
Did
like,
either of
"Show
you guys
me."
finish the cake?
Don't make me look bad. You gotta beat the black guy.
Yeah.
Did either of you guys finish it?
No, I got
No.
75% of the way through and was like, bro, I'm not doing this.
I
It's
got a
awful.
little bit more than I got a little bit more. I beat Mike. That's
Yeah,
all.
no. You
Does
didn't fucking
Beardo
beat me.
think
You
he
got
could
2 hours
beat the
in.
cake?
Oh,
Yeah, I took
I
way longer.
100%
Though.
could
I
eat
did
the
take
whole
way
cake.
longer.
No, you couldn't,
Really?
Beardo. I'm telling you
I
right now.
could.
Yo, you couldn't
I
even
could.
eat
I'm-
cake.
You
You
could
You
guys
guys
eat
should
don't
have
know me.
waited
You
the
guys
cake.
don't know me.
You
Wait,
guys
wait,
You
should
guys
have.
haven't seen me eat.
Logistically,
Beardo,
how big was Phil's
I'm
cake and how
a
big
fat
was Mike?
motherfucker, bro. I eat a lot
Okay,
of food.
that's
and
fine,
I'm
Mike.
telling
Have you ever seen
it's
the hot
not-
dog eating contest? It's always
no,
the skinny
Beardo,
guys that win.
It's not the cake. It's not the size of the food. It's the
Hot
sugar.
dog.
It's always
It's the density.
No,
the skinny
it's-
guys, the
it's
skinny
the
fit
sugar
guys who
intake,
win the
Beardo.
eating contest.
It's the sugar
Asian.
intake, Beardo. That's
It is
the problem.
I
Phil can tell
guarantee you.
When you start feeling the sugar hit you, it is fucking awful, bro. You immediately
Yeah.
get sick to your stomach. The cake starts to taste like shit because your body's like, stop shoving sugar in me, please. Like, it's awful, bro.
Okay,
Like,
so
I
do you
guarantee
feel
you I
like-
can
Mike
finish
has
the whole
hidden
cake.
sheet.
So Mike's cake is 8 inches, but his is 2-tiered.
Hey,
Mine's
whoa, hey, what is happening?
Ah,
That's
Stop
why I
talking
got
about
3
the girth of
kills,
this
Phil.
man's cake. You don't need to talk about how thick Mike's cake is, dude. That's crazy.
Okay,
why I
that's
got
the
3
at that
children.
point we could just stop and say, "What's
It's a
up,
very
Beardo?
thick
How you
cake."
doing, Beardo?"
Nothing much, man.
Have a really juicy cake.
Thanks,
Very
Kata.
juicy cake. They try to
Thanks,
say
Mike.
it's small, but it's not. It's at least
I-
8 inches.
How you doing, Beardo?
I'm doing good, man. I've been spending way too much time playing the Switch 2, not playing Mario Kart World. I've been playing Pokemon Violet. It is incredible on the Switch 2. The next-gen update that Nintendo did and Game Freak did for the
Is
Switch
there
2
an actual enhanced edition,
Correct,
or is it
yeah.
just the natural? Oh, okay.
No, so it's not paid. It's free. It's a free whatever. I wouldn't necessarily call it a next-gen update because it's
No,
free.
but does it say
So-
enhanced edition?
no. You just pop
Okay.
in. You pop in the Switch
So it's
cartridge.
just the natural improvements that the extra hardware does.
so
It's
this is what-
essentially
so-
an upscale. Is
Yeah,
what's
if
being-
they
It's-
do an actual enhanced update, it will be even better.
Well, so what happens is when you put in the Pokemon Scarlet Violet cartridge into the Switch 2, it runs 60 frames, and since whatever processing power is on the Switch 2, more Pokemon spawn out in the open world than on the regular Switch, the first Switch.
Nice.
So there's more Pokemon, which
That's
makes like
probably
the mass
CPU bound.
outbreak raids.
Yeah.
It's so
probably
much
CPU
easier to
bound
find
just
shiny
because of the better
Pokemon.
CPU, yeah.
Draw
Yes.
distance is better.
Yeah, it's essentially the same game from what I've seen. It's just the new console can handle it better. So the game was
Yeah.
always capable of this. The Switch one just couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's
it-
the case with a lot of those games that got enhanced.
And a lot of people on Twitter and on YouTube who are making videos about Pokemon Scarlet Violet on the Switch 2 are arguing, was Scarlet Violet made for the Switch 2? Like, not really.
Yeah.
I'm sure
It,
the
it came
Game
out
Freak didn't.
a long time ago. What is it, 3 years
almost
old
3
now?
years, almost 3
Yeah.
years ago, almost
No,
3 years
but
ago.
I
a
get
little
that. I get that.
But it performs
causes
the
that
way on
impression.
Switch 2 the way that you thought it should have on
Yeah.
the Switch
Basically,
1.
Breath of the
they
Wild
just
and-
made the
and-
game work.
Uh-huh. No,
Sure.
Breath
That's
of the
it.
Wild and Tears of the Kingdom also causes that impression. It's like, was that made for a console like ahead of
Right.
this one?
Right. That's how it feels when you play it, for
Uh-huh.
sure. So,
Well, no, go ahead.
no, I'm just gonna say. So I've been, as far as the Switch 2 goes, I had fun with Mario Kart World for about 2 days, but I've just been playing Pokemon nonstop.
Well, speaking of the Switch 2, hi Beep, how are you?
Hi, yes, I've also been playing the Switch 2, and I'm happy to be here. I know that I woke up this morning because I was so excited because they announced the spin-off, the first ever spin-off game to Splatoon. So nobody cares, but I said it
Wow.
anyway.
I mean, Splatoon
I
has
said
a
wow.
massive fan base. Splatoon has a massive fan base. So I don't know how much. Oh yes, I mean, what does Splatoon 3 sell? Like 20 million copies or something like that?
I don't even think it made the top 10 of the best sellers, but I'm okay with it. It's underrated, and that's why I love it.
I love
What's
Splatoon.
the spin-off about?
Don't know much about. I haven't. Yeah.
Well, it's about these two characters, but then there's another character they're supposed to
Three
reveal, but they
characters.
didn't. Yeah, the other character's the one that's kind of the mystery. So they were kind of vague on a lot of it.
It's
Mhm.
like
but just-
it's like
just
an
the-
adventure game. It's a multiplayer game.
It
What-
looks
Uh,
like it looks like it's a
Why are
story.
you asking so many questions about this, Dan?
I'm interested.
You ask weird questions a lot, and it's bothering me. You're asking me about tickling dudes on Twitter and stuff, man.
What?
I asked
Mike would
if
know.
it's frowned upon if you tickle someone in America without consent.
Well, it's
Yeah, but this
because
isn't
Mike
the
If you
first
have
wants
to
to tickle
ask them,
Dan's
probably
feet.
yes.
This is not the first time Dan has asked me about tickling people, and I'm like,
I
stop.
just want to
don't
know.
know.
Would you
Tickle
rather
fetish,
I
Dan.
just embarrass myself in America and just tickle someone
Go
without
to
knowing?
Yeah,
France
I
and touch
actually
people
would.
there, Dan. What the hell?
What?
Go to France and touch people there, Dan. It's more welcome.
Oh, in France it's allowed?
Yeah, France is okay.
Maybe
Yeah.
a few
Yeah,
years
France,
ago.
yeah,
There's a lot of
whatever you want over
Indians
there.
in France now.
They make at least they make French fries over there though. So
That's true.
They don't though.
It's not French.
man,
French
stole
fries
my
are not
joke.
French. They're
from Belgium.
They're called
they're
French
from Belgium.
fries.
No, they're
You
called
guys,
French
you
fries.
guys- oh
French
my
fries.
God! Why do you dumb idiots
freedom
think
fries
Jeremy
here
said
in
that
America.
shit? It's called a joke. God.
You okay, Johnny?
Because it's fun to make
Yeah.
fun of how
Yeah.
dumb
No,
he
Oh,
it's
is.
it's
just
a joke, Johnny.
It's just like French
We were
fries. like
playing
they come
off
from
of the
France.
joke,
He literally
Johnny.
wouldn't say that if he wasn't already freaking aware.
That's why we
you
kept.
dumb
That's why we
idiot.
kept making the jokes about it.
I thought
Johnny.
he was serious.
We picked up the baton.
Sorry, I'm not American.
Hi Jed, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. It's been a fantastic week of gaming. I played the brand new game, Mario Kart 64. I don't know if you guys have been playing it, but it's a lot of fun. I definitely
game?
recommend it for people. You should
Yes.
all get the console for it. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of retro stuff. Donkey Kong 64.
Let's go!
It's a cocaine-fueled fantasy. That game is wild, but I've been having a lot of fun with it and started Expedition 33. Everything but the Switch 2.
Hell
But
yeah.
I do have a question for Krista. This might be a spoiler for the Splatoon spinoff, but do they paint stuff in it?
Oh. I don't think we
They,
need to go too far into spoilers. But
Yeah.
I guess-
yeah, they ink stuff to be more.
Oh, she
Stuff.
corrected
Oh,
it. Inking.
oh,
Inking. What's up, Dan?
Hey, what's up? I have a message for the chat, for the people watching at home. Yes, you. I'm talking to you. I see you. I see you all. Dan Vest sees everything. Stop jerking off. you and the monkey stuff you are ruining my life, ruining my relationships. I'm gonna share something here, real
I'm
quick.
so happy about this. Actually, never mind, Dan. This is a good one.
There you go. This is something that my girlfriend got me just the other day. ocasião.
Abre.
Até você?
The betrayal.
Nova decoração.
It's the cute hugging time.
He looks so upset right now.
He does. He really does. He's like,
Look at those shoes.
Bro, yeah, what are those shoes? Those look like old man loafers.
It's
wear
my
shoes in the
Mochacho
house?
shoes. So
those-
yeah, I don't know. Here's the monkey. Now the monkey's on the background. It's called Sergio. And yeah, congratulations, guys. You turn her against me. And, I have
So you're
no
not gay?
idea where all this monkey thing of yours came from.
as he
No idea.
peels a banana. There we go. Good job, Dan. Good job.
Yeah, and he's eating it the right way, like a regular person.
Yeah,
Epic
where's
Mike.
the knife?
Yeah, where's the
Damn.
knife?
You're doing it a little gaily.
No, he's doing it the correct
you're
way.
participating.
Well, now that he's shown he has a girlfriend, he's like, I can eat this banana.
Now
this
it
way,
can
it's
be
fine.
gay.
Yeah, it can be gay.
Mike
It's
might be onto
okay.
something
No.
though, because I didn't
That's
see any
wild.
floors there.
It's wild stuff.
Very
What's up,
pretty
Mike?
floors.
Hey, how's it going? Glad to be here. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Switch 2. Got yelled at a lot. Got called a traitor. Got called a sellout. But you know what those guys don't fucking have that I do? An exclusive commemorative day one Switch 2 launch day coin from Best Buy. You don't have one, and
I don't
do.
have that.
So go fuck yourself. All right?
But I have
It's all
money.
job, buddy.
jealousy. You all hate me, okay? I get it. All right? You know, it is the only thing that actually made me happy that night. Standing in line with a bunch of people that I all looked like they were supposed to be waiting for the Switch. All right? That's all I say. All right? All talking about things. One guy walked out of the place. He goes, $600 for it right now. And somebody went, oh man, maybe we should try to rob him for it. And I said out loud, my guy, nobody's robbing anyone in this line. All right. And I also went with a buddy of mine who was there to make sure that I didn't get robbed because, yeah, he was. We were outside, so he was making sure that if anything went wrong, like any YNs pulled up, he could deal with it. All he did the whole time we were there was talk about how much the Switch deck is, or the Steam Deck is better.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
he was really pissing people off online. Like at one point he's like, I'm just gonna walk into Best Buy and look around and see what they have in inventory. And the manager goes, everybody, the store only has the front entrance open. You cannot walk around the store. Please don't do that. Like, dude, it was not a good night. But Mario Kart's fine. It's good. You know,
We'll be playing it tomorrow night. So the first
Yeah.
Official Mario Kart World stream, like with
That's
that
not
counts. It is
the
because you
actual
fucking
one
That's
that
not true.
counts.
yeah, like yeah, Beardo
Oh,
celebrating
that's absolutely
preseason
not true.
victories and shit like that. It's ridiculous.
You're the
So-
only one saying that.
No,
Some Raiders
Now,
crap.
a
That's
lot
not
of people
true.
are saying
yeah,
that, bro.
a
No, it's
lot
not
of
true.
people. Yes,
It's
a lot
very
of people.
much preseason. It doesn't count.
Dino
Raider
Wills
counts are
wasn't
wins.
even there to count stats. He had to do
Yeah.
it after the
Yeah,
fact.
because we're playing at 3:00 in the morning.
That's right. What's up, Kata?
Yeah, preseason
What's
game,
up?
bad timing.
What's
How you
up?
doing,
I
man?
hope y'all are having fun playing your Nintendo Switch
Oh,
2, man.
shut
I've been
the
having a
fuck
great
up.
time. I've been on my PC playing Dune Awakening all week. It's been great. I haven't had
Is
to
it
worry
good?
about. Yeah, so far, yeah. So far, if you
Nah,
if you play
it wasn't
Conan,
good. He has to
It's
own.
not a
You hear me?
good
He's like,
No, it's for a particular niche. Like if you don't like survival games like this, you probably won't enjoy it. If you play Conan and enjoyed it, you'll enjoy it. I like Dune and I like the survival aspect, so I'm having a great time. And then when I get off my PC and I just want to play the game in bed, I pull out my Steam Deck and then I play one of those. So having a great time. And Mike, I got an exclusive coin. I got the same coin coming in the mail because I ordered it off of Etsy. All right,
Yeah,
so you're not the only one
That's
that
what
has
bitches do, and you
I'm
just
gonna have
admitted it's
one
not a
too.
real coin. Good on you, man.
Nobody's gonna be able to
You
tell
know
the
what?
difference.
You don't got one right now, motherfucker. Huh?
They're not gonna be able to tell. They're not
You
gonna be able
can't
to
show.
tell.
You can't show nothing off right now.
When it
Huh?
comes in, I'm gonna take a picture with it. I'm gonna say, yeah, I got a Switch
It's
too.
too late. I already
This
took a
is-
picture with it on day one. It doesn't matter now. It's old news. It's old
They're gonna
hat.
call me a traitor.
I
if
even
do
keep
that,
it
so
in
I
the
can't
little
do it.
plastic collectible case So it doesn't
That's
get
great. What's
damaged?
up, Johnny 64?
I love how Kata spent all that time taking his shit on the Switch 2 just to then say, I'm going to take a photo with my coin. People think I got one too. Okay,
Yeah, I got a coin
no
too.
FOMO there. I can see it.
He's so
Anyway.
mad that he doesn't have one. He ordered one on Etsy. He's like, please give me one of those coins.
I'm enjoying my Switch 2, but my God, getting it was a nightmare for me. I was texting Krista, and she was like, you're still in line? We were stagnant after we were supposed to be moving for like an hour and 20 minutes. There was 4 different lines, and I, who was there at GameStop, the 4th person there on pre-order day, was the last line to go in because they were so disorganized. They told us they were going to have pizza and ice cream. Neither of those things ever happened. It was a disaster. But I enjoyed my Switch too. But yeah, I will never shop at that GameStop again. That is for sure.
What's crazy? So when I got I pre-ordered from the GameStop, and it was in the mall, and that was the only GameStop in town that wasn't doing a midnight. So I'm like, fuck. So of course, I didn't have one at Best Buy. I only had them at Walmart and GameStop. So I couldn't get one landed at Best Buy. And then I went to another GameStop, and they were taking pre-orders the day of. And I got lucky, which once I did my pre-order, they gave me the number 7 in line. Okay, so when I showed up to GameStop, there was probably on a couple hundred people there, but I was number 7. And they were like,
see, that's
you get
bullshit.
you get in line based on the number that's on your. I was like, really? So I was number 7. I was like,
that happened to me.
Yeah.
That happened to me. I was the first one at my GameStop. This GameStop is like kind of like far back and hidden. It's not a very popular store. I was the first one there. I got there at 11 p.m. First one in line. Stood there for an entire hour. Motherfucker comes out there at 11:56 and says, all right, we're doing this by group. Look at your receipt. If you're group 1, come up. I look at my receipt. I'm group 3. I stood in line for an hour. First one in fucking line, and I had to go to the fucking back, dude. I was pissed. I
had a great night. Like, I just showed up at Best Buy, and I was like, where do I go? They're like, come right in. And I just got it.
That's
Pretty
because you're
girl
pretty
privilege.
and we're
Yeah,
not.
exactly.
Okay? Life on easy mode.
That's why.
That's quite
Excuse
literally
me,
how it
guys.
works.
They were like,
me, guys,
hey,
where
they're
do I
like, come
go?
on in, my lady. Come on in, my lady.
Yeah.
It's like,
Am
when did he get a... when did
They
he
were
get a
breaking
fedora?
over
He's like,
backwards
just...
for it, man.
Where do I
They're
go?
like
Probably
rolling out
carried
the-
her in.
They're like
too.
rolling
That's
out the
what
red carpet for Krista, you know.
It was
the
different
doors
at
open,
GameStop, though.
everyone in the
for Jay.
GameStop
I
gets
know,
dead
I
silent
know.
and stares at her. They're like,
To be fair, I know Jay was with her. And Jay, if anybody looks at her,
Yeah.
Jay has to like take care, like stop. You know,
Yeah.
that's her internet
Jay
dad.
getting
Yeah, I was
Takes
like,
care
all
of
he's
it.
over
with me. Can he come in too?
Yeah.
They're
I
like,
tried, I tried winking at the manager and everything. Nothing worked.
Oh man.
Mike's got to give you some
What would
lessons.
Chris do?
Yeah.
What's up, Phil?
Yo, yeah, I've been playing a bunch of Expedition 33, but I have to pause because tomorrow Stellar Blade comes out. So I'll be playing that probably indefinitely with millions and millions of mods that are
Oh, yeah.
already out even before the game is out, which is awesome. But yes,
You say indefinitely, you're gonna die of dehydration in a few days.
It's gonna be that Quagmire scene. He's
I
gonna
get
that's what
it. I get it.
Where's Phil? We haven't seen it on Tuesday nights main event for a while. I got it. Buff left arm.
just
But
sitting,
yeah,
just sitting there.
Wait,
With
is that some kind of new version?
It's the PC version, so just the mods.
yeah.
It's people can mod, and there's a bunch of like DLCs and like I guess like just improvements for the game. Like this, if you have like an ultra wide screen, it actually works really well with it. So I don't have that. I might have to buy a VR rig because I heard it works with the game too. So I'll be gone for a while.
Hey.
Oh, Lord.
Hey,
It's gonna
mind
be
your
done.
surroundings before you know.
I have to.
What's up, Savvy?
Hello. I too have participated in the consumerism, and we have a Switch 2 as well in the house.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yes.
I didn't even know this.
We just walked into the store the following morning and just said, "Do you have any?" And the guy was like, "Man, y'all are probably buying it for your kid. It's our last one. Here you go." I looked him dead in the eye and I said, "I'm a streamer. No kids here."
Loosely.
and then she unleashed her wings, and he was like, "Just take it."
Yeah. Nice. I got mine the
should-
next day too.
When he said that, you should have been like,
Sonic attack. Guy's eyes, ears start bleeding. He's screaming. She just takes it and walks out.
Well,
Yeah,
I
you would've
mean,
got it for free.
let's talk about the Switch 2. I have not played it as much as I've wanted to because Elon and Trump decided to have their divorce on the day it releases.
Crazy.
And now the Los Angeles riots.
selfish.
I've literally been I think I've streamed like over 30 hours the past 3 days just covering that. I'm not complaining. But I have played it. I mean, obviously, I've been on a couple of streams and everything like that. So I've played, I think I've got like 10 or 15 hours of Mario Kart World in. And you know, I mean, the big piece to the puzzle is Mario Kart World, and I think that Mario Kart World is very good, but it's falls short of being great. I think that there was some missteps in the marketing. I think that they would have come off far better if they would have never mentioned free roam, and if free roam would have just been like this nice little surprise that we got. But they built the whole thing off of free roam.
Is it better than 8?
Huh?
No.
Is it better than 8?
No. But that's a hard thing to compare to because we are judging Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as the game we've been playing for the past 8 years. Like if you were to compare,
highly updated.
Yes, if you were to compare Super Mario Kart World to Mario Kart 8 from the Wii U, I would argue that Mario Kart World is a better game on launch.
It didn't have 200cc as well.
Correct.
Yep.
On launch, I would argue that Mario Kart World is a better game than Mario Kart 8 on launch. And that's the problem, is that we have been skewed to like look at this game in a different perspective because Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U didn't even have 2 items. You could only hold 1 item. So these are like things that we don't remember back then. But with that said, $80 game, you promised free roam. You put a huge amount of expectations. You made people believe that the free roam was going to be this game-changing thing, yada, yada, yada. And there's nothing wrong with free roam. It's cool. It's a nice little novelty. It's a nice little addition. And it's not bad, but there's nothing amazing about it. It's just that this is cool. I can cruise around. I can listen to Nintendo music, and I can explore the world, and that's a cool thing. But you advertise an $80 game with the expectations of free roam being the big selling point, and there's just nothing exceptional about that. Also, I think that from a gameplay standpoint, racing versus Grand Prix, all of that is good. It's really good. Knockout Tour is the best thing about the game. Knockout Tour is fucking fantastic.
I do like Knockout Tour. Yeah.
Knockout Tour is absolutely incredible. So
the soundtrack too is amazing, and the maps are awesome.
Yes, absolutely.
Could you describe Knockout Tour real quick?
Knockout Tour is essentially Battle Royale for Mario Kart. So you start out with 24 racers and you go through it, and then there's a cutoff, and you have to be in 20th place to make the cutoff. So everybody 20th are back. And then the next one is you have to be 16th place, and then you get cut. And then the next one is 12th.
Had that.
So
Burnout had that.
Yeah, but it's like adding it to a Mario Kart game is fucking crazy. And it is absolutely nuts. If you're in a race with 24 racers, it is fucking nuts. There's a huge learning curve to this game, not from a mechanic standpoint, or not a learning curve, but as much as the in-between, the intermissions throw a whole different wrench into this thing in terms of like, this is not your standard Mario Kart game with like 3 laps, and then you go to this map and it's 3 laps, and this lap. Everything's interconnected. And so you have these intermissions that throw the game way off, and it is completely different. I don't think that's bad. I just think that it's a huge amount of getting used to from that perspective. Those are my general thoughts. We can open it up more. Johnny, what do you think?
Yeah, to kind of piggyback off of your point a little bit. So basically, when we're racing in a group, or if you're racing online, after you do a race, the ones it recommends for you, the tracks that you could just pick of the options, those are the ones that are all connected in the same cup.
Tweeners.
So the tweeners. So if you pick any one of those, you then have to drive to that location. So a lot of straightaway.
Mm-hmm.
And then the only lap that you do is lap 3 once you get to that destination. And so there are ways to avoid all those straightaways, all those tweeners, all that sort of thing. It's basically everybody either has to pick random if you're playing online, or you have to hit, like, I think it's the plus button, and then you pick a map that's not connected to that cup.
Right.
So we could do it more, but yeah, that's the thing that's a little bit annoying, is there's too much like straightaways and stuff. And if we did have 200cc, it would make up for that a lot. I like it. It's just different, man. Like we play 200cc all the time and it just feels fast, and this game feels
slow.
On top of that, like, I don't know. I do agree that Knockout Tour is the best part of it. As time goes on and we start to learn more about the shortcuts and the rail riding and the wall riding and, you know, how to, like, once you're doing that, even in time trials when I was doing it, it gets really fun when you know what you're doing. So I feel like that's something that's going to improve over time as we learn more about, like, the shortcuts and stuff. But yeah, I just feel like a lot of things could be fixed if they just introduce 200cc and then just give us the options to just do traditional 3 laps, no jumping through hoops or anything. Just give us the option just to do 3 laps. Like I like the journey, I like the free roam stuff, but don't make it mandatory. Like that part's frustrating.
Agreed. Krista?
No, I agree with Johnny. Like, I think that should be an option. There's obviously going to be updates in the future. I would like for them to add more Nintendo characters. I was hoping to see Kirby as a playable character, you know, in Mario Kart, hopefully for the future. And yeah, they definitely need to add 200cc. I just unlocked mirror mode. That's something that they didn't advertise. It's something that us gamers had to figure out on our own to unlock. So maybe there is a way to unlock 200cc, but we don't know yet.
If 200cc is in there, I will change probably everything I just said. Except for like the free roam and all that. Not having 200cc in this game, it's like McDonald's serving everything but a burger. Like, hey, come to our new store, but we're not going to serve burgers. It's like, what the fuck are we doing? You know, like no 200cc. Domino's Pizza with no pizza. We need 200cc. What the fuck are we doing, Nintendo?
Well, 200cc is kind of new, and not everybody plays it as much. So acting like it is the Whopper of like it's
the best selling but it's the best selling game they've ever had. Sure. And 200cc was a big piece of that puzzle.
Yeah, you would think something that's called Mario Kart World would actually have that as an option already, you know?
Yeah, like, it's funny that you use that as an analogy because the other night on my stream, that's exactly what I did. Like, imagine your favorite joint, like your favorite burger joint. You love the burger joint, and then they come out with the best burger ever. They're super burger, and you love it. And they're like, okay, great. We're going to open up another one, a bigger, better restaurant just down the road. It's going to be awesome. But they don't have that best brand new burger that the original one had. That's Mario Kart World.
Part of me thinks that it's because 200cc is the opposite of what they wanted from this game. This game feels like it's the most normie-friendly game that they've put out yet. Like the aspect of bagging, like you'll fall all the way back down to 22nd and you're back up to first in 15 seconds because you get a super mushroom and a bullet and you're right back in it. And it's crazy how fast that happens. Like even in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, like there was a certain point in lap 3 where I couldn't fall back and just expect to be back in it with a couple great items because Jeremy's leads too big.
And you can't pull away in this game. I mean, you can, but it's very difficult to pull away.
Well, because they spam the blue shells. Like they did a lot of little details that made it pretty clear to me. They want to bring more parity to it and make it less of a competitive game. Competitive people are going to be competitive people. So there's still going to be a competitive scene for it, and people are going to do that. But it definitely feels like they were trying to rein everybody back in and give everybody a chance.
And that's been happening since Double Dash anyway. That's always been a complaint of mine. Double Dash was the last great true competitive Mario Kart game. But even like mechanically, like the game is really good, but it still doesn't feel as good as Mario Kart 8 did. Mario Kart 8's drafting and drifting feels better on there. I don't know. Mike, you're black. What do you think?
Yeah, I actually listen.
How does that apply? Wait,
he was not ready.
Because I'm an expert. I'm driving around through neighborhoods.
Okay, all right. That makes
Chicago
sense.
Simulator.
Phil couldn't argue with that one. Jenny was like, I get it. Yeah. See, like, yeah, I don't like the open world aspect. I think that I would have liked it a lot more if there were more secrets and like, oh man, you can only unlock certain characters by exploring the world. It just feels like it's tacked on. Yeah, my biggest complaint about this game is how normie friendly it is. Cause like, dude, I one time forgot that I was racing because I had to like answer my phone and I was like, oh shit, I'm a knockout. And I was in 24th and they were like already halfway done with the race. All I got the whole time in the back was mushrooms and bullets. And I caught all the way up and like made it to like the last 4 racers, dude. And I was like, not even. I
So
was
the
like, oh
communism is strong.
It's
The
stronger
communism
than
is very
ever.
strong.
Stronger than ever.
That's an industry problem.
Yeah, the other thing I
Yeah, it's
really don't like
participation
that they
metal
took out
culture.
of, I hate that they took out the kart customization. I mean, you know,
I
maybe
don't.
yes, we all end up doing like rollers, and you kind of do the same carts if you know what works, or whatever. But I kind of like the kart customization.
So it's
man.
all one thing. You only choose one thing.
You choose one cart.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and for the most
There's
part,
no
they,
gliders
you
or wheels. It's just the carts that you pick.
What's the
know,
meta,
that's pretty much
Johnny?
it.
Well, that's what I was gonna say too. Is like they're still figuring out the meta. It's like
Baby
you're seeing
characters
some of the
right
best
now.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe people who are still figuring out how to balance everything and stuff. But it's interesting because it feels like they eliminated so much of the tactics of the game, where it's like now when you use an item, it automatically goes behind you. So now
Yes.
you're not debating whether or not
Really?
you want to get out at that point. It's automatically behind
That's
you.
not good,
Or like
man.
part customization. Now there's less factors that you can, less things that you can customize, and so
No,
that
sometimes you don't want that. Sometimes you
Yeah.
don't want to put like bombs with bombs,
Right.
for example.
Right,
Sometimes you don't
that way
want
because you don't
behind
you don't want the person to
But
know
the-
that you have anything. You're trying to
Yes.
bait them
Right.
into throwing something, and you don't have that option in this game, which sucks.
Right,
There's
right.
that
Or
also-
you're about to be hit with a blue shell, and you won't lose it when you're struck with a blue shell.
Yes.
Blue shell if it's not out. You know,
Right.
There's like so many tactics that have been eliminated, and another thing they eliminated too is like, you know, when you're drifting, if you're not going to make a turn, you can hop to adjust yourself
Yeah,
to
you can't
like,
hop anymore
compensate
like
for that.
that.
You can't do that. Now you try to hop and
Really?
you're not moving with it. It's all on the drift. And so
Yep.
it's just a bummer that it feels like, because they did the same thing when they went from, you know, Mario Golf Toadstool Tour to Mario Golf
Super Rush.
Super Rush, where it's like, why are you eliminating really cool features that allow me to do more
Yeah,
and expecting me to be happy with less,
skill-based
you know?
features.
Yeah.
One thing that I really hate right now is when you fall off, you lose your items.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
That's
horrible.
the worst.
One thing I will say,
That's part. This is part of bringing people. It's keeping people closer together, though. That's
yes.
when you rip those
There
items
are
apart.
so many
Yeah.
clusters of people. Like it's all yeah. The other thing I will say is that speed actually matters in this game. In Mario Kart like 8 Deluxe, it feels like acceleration and drift boosting and stuff is like the king. In this, like on especially Knockout Tour, having a high speed character can really make a difference for you, like in the long run when you hit those long stretches. Because man, you have one speed and you watch everybody just go past you in the straightaways. You're like, man, this kind of sucks.
What
But-
CCs are currently available?
50, 100, and 150,
And mirror.
And mirror.
and mirror.
A mirror.
But mirror is usually defaulted to 150.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, so yeah, mirror is usually defaulted to that. So that's what you have. Listen, we're doing a lot of complaining, but I genuinely enjoy the hell out of the game. But there's just a lot of little things. Like I made a post on Twitter the other day. I think Mario Kart World is 80% phenomenal Mario Kart. Like absolutely, when it's good, it's damn good. Map design is good. The graphics are great. The mechanics are great. The new mechanics that they've added are great. And overall, like the chaos of 24-player Mario Kart is fucking amazing. But
It's insane.
and then there's 10% that I just think are just weird and strange. And then 10% is straight up lazy. Straight up lazy. Like straight up lazy decisions that you look at and you're like, why couldn't you add this? Or why didn't you give us this option? There's just little things that come off as lazy. And I know that it's minimal when you look to go, oh, a game goes from whatever, $70 to $80 or whatever it is. But it's like, that's really not. It's not about the $10. It's about the decision to do that and the lack of delivering upon something that justifies that. And this game is a very good game that does not justify the $80 price tag. And that's just where I'm at with it. Like, I thought they were going to do something that was going to be like a story mode with open world or something like that.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't have that. And I wish that they just would have they should have never priced it at 80, and they should have never advertised free roam. And it would have been a beautiful surprise, and everybody would have like, holy shit, this is the coolest thing ever. But Nintendo's messaging, as usual, was not good at all. It was not good.
I think that what we view as lazy is them trying to do the whole normie accessibility bullshit. And so we look at it as a lack of features, but that's just because they couldn't come up with anything to replace the competitive aspect of it. The more normies that they thought they could get into it, the more they could get away with charging $80 because they're like, well, it's a product for everyone. Everyone can play. So it's even more predatory if you view it from that lens versus, oh, they're just greedy. It's like a step further. It's greed mixed with something else.
And Nintendo has never wanted their party games to be super competitive.
Yeah.
I mean, ever since the earlier Mario Karts, it's just basic math. You can't get a lightning bolt if you're in first, second, or third place, maybe third. I don't know. The odds would be incredibly small. But, you know, it's always been that way where they're trying to create parity. And that's the part where I think I disagree with Jeremy, but I'm not sure if he actually disagrees in the sense that I just don't think it's lazy. I think that these were decisions that they conscientiously made because they want it to just be a game that has more parity, where more people have a chance, where it's just more chaotic, where there isn't distance between the racers. I don't think they want to... Nintendo's never been the company that wants to reward people for their grind. You know, that's why you get a turd after collecting all the Koroxes, is because it's Nintendo's way of saying, you're not supposed to do it that way. You're supposed to get them as you go and just enjoy the experience. And anytime you go all obsessive about it, they prove time and time again that that's not what they want. Same thing with Smash Brothers.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
They support the competitive scene for Smash Brothers because they want you to play with items on and embrace the chaos.
To be clear, though, that they don't support the Smash scene because there's some freaks in the Smash scene. Holy shit!
Is that so?
Oh my goodness, man, dude. Some weirdos.
You hosted tournaments, so you know what you're talking about.
Yes, I do. Trust me, I do. Some fucking
what kind of weirdos?
Things I can't talk about here. Dude, just look up
with some of the big competitors and known streamers, and you know,
there's some. It's bad.
Jeremy can't.
There's some bad shit in the Smash community, especially in the Melee community. It's really fucking weird.
Krista's in that scene.
Right under the bus, you go.
Yeah. I mean, I know some people, but I know what Jeremy's talking about. I've seen it. Yeah.
Honestly, Krista sent me
Krista's a weirdo freak too.
I just said he's in the scene.
Goodness
Bro, it's
gracious.
rough. I go to Smash Brothers tournaments, and I'm seriously like, am I the only person here who took a shower this morning? Like,
I went to one, and that's all I needed to go to.
Yeah.
There were a lot of those in
Fighting
line
games
for the
tournament,
Switch
dude.
too.
Okay, I can imagine. But Johnny, how about the performance, or Jeremy, if you noticed, or anyone, how it doesn't maintain 60 frames per second? Do you guys notice any frame drop?
Absolutely,
It's very smooth.
It's very smooth.
It's very important that it does.
And across the board too, like everything's running perfectly.
The internet's great too.
One thing that was an example was Animal Crossing. Like Animal Crossing, it got to this point where if you put too many items in your town, it just got glitchy and started dropping frames because the Switch couldn't process that much information. And now the Switch 2 is just like handling it.
Nice.
And like even with like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, and I'm showing the fact that I'm a Nintendo fan. I'm very self-aware. I know you're already playing this on Steam Deck and all that sort of thing. But it's just like it's like water, dude. It's almost weird to my eyes.
I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom.
How smooth it's running.
Bro,
I've been playing
the
Tears
HDR is fantastic. It looks so good.
Look here. Bottom line, the reason I haven't reported this story is because it is not confirmed yet, and there's a lot out there. I hear that like Thursday we may hear some official numbers, Krista, but it's fucking setting records like crazy. So reportedly the Switch 2 sales numbers are breaking historic records, and I personally like what I'm hearing from different places. The reported numbers are that it sold 3.5 million copies on day one, which would not just break the record, it would obliterate the previous record of 1 million on one day. So I mean, that's just absolutely insane. But these are not officially released yet. This is not officially released. I mean, I could just go on my local area. Everybody's out of it. Everybody's out of the Switch 2 everywhere.
Yep.
And
in Brazil, the pre-order like sold out in minutes. I couldn't get it.
Yeah, nobody has it. Literally nobody has it anywhere, at least in my general area. And I've talked to some of the people in the area, and Nintendo sent a fuck ton out to stores. Like, this isn't like Nintendo is famous for basically sending out a few units and creating this fake scarcity. from everything I've heard, that ain't the case at all. Nintendo pumped out a fuck ton of systems to a lot of different locations, and people have shown up now. But again, to be clear, these are not officially released numbers. These are rumors that people have said that they have heard, but Nintendo has not released anything yet. But have you guys had similar reactions in your area where they're all sold out? Anybody seen anything different?
Oh,
Yep,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been sold out.
Yeah. So
I haven't
mean,
checked.
why not? Hey, so this means that the Switch has sold like three times as many copies as the Steam Deck has sold in like 4 years or whatever it's been. So on day one, so all these people like Steam Deck's better. It's like, well, that's fine, but nobody's bought it. So
Popularity doesn't necessarily equate to quality. Popularity
You know
and
what
quality
you're
are not
Jeremy, you know what you're doing.
I know exactly what I'm doing.
Doesn't change the facts, you know.
I
But it's
know
all
exactly what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing.
I'm like, I'm the Nintendo guy. These are weak arguments. Like, what the hell is this?
good. Fall for the
Let's
rage bait.
try
man.
not to take shots at Steam here. All right, let's,
Jeremy's doing that thing where people post stuff on Twitter purposely knowing that they're saying something wrong just to get the rage bait and make the money. That's what
crazy
Jeremy's
shit,
doing right now.
Dude, I even like, and I know I don't know if I'll be here to talk about it because I'm jumping my other stream, but I even said that to like the Splitgate. We'll talk about this story here later, probably. But the Split he's a CEO, right?
Yeah.
You know, and I said it here. I was like, this is why I go overboard with my Trump support, because I'll never let these freaks determine who or what I support. I'll just become more obnoxious when they cry. And that's how I approach everything. Like, if you bitch about something I'm doing, I'm just going to become more obnoxious. Ric Flair taught me that. Nature Boy said it. I'm going to become more obnoxious. You're going to hate me even more. But in all reality, those numbers have not been reported, so we'll see. A lot of people are running with those headlines that's the official number, and it's not the official number, so time will tell. But I don't find that like to be I don't think that just automatically means that the Switch 2 is this monumental success. I mean, Mario Kart is a huge IP that's going to move units, but like, what do they have for the rest of the year? And they don't have anything officially launched.
Pokemon.
Well, yes, that's going to be huge.
Pokemon
too,
Legends is going to be huge.
And Krista, you seem to think we're getting an Animal Crossing at some point this year, don't you? Or it's like a gut feeling. It's just like
I mean, it's been 5 years since the last game, so it only makes sense for them to come out with a new one. And I think we might even get next year Splatoon 4. Again, I know nobody cares but me, but that's what I think is going to happen. Predictions.
I like Splatoon.
I get it's a little bit different because it's a launch year. So, take this with a grain of salt. But they've done like a Nintendo Direct late in June for like every year for like the past 5 or 6 years. So if they're sticking with that theme, then we'll get a Nintendo Direct towards the end of this month and probably see what we got in store for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I mean, Donkey Kong Bonanza is going to come out next month or whatever, so that's a pretty decent title. But like, what are they going to do? They need to drop a couple of big games for the holiday season, whether that's a 3D Mario or something. Like, they need something.
So, Prime 4 is niche, but apparently it's 2025. But I think that's a little bit shaky at this point.
So
that
you got
get delayed.
Pokemon Legends is in October. You got Donkey Kong Bonanza coming out in a few weeks.
Yeah, it's next month, right?
Yeah, it's in the middle of the month next month.
What they need, like you said, the next 3D Mario game, whether that's going to be a sequel to Odyssey or a brand new, version of 3D Mario. And as well, Super Mario Wonder was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
do
it was.
Do another 3D Mario side scroller.
I love
whether
that
it's
game.
Wonder 2 or do a different one, with a different gimmick. But
yeah,
you need those. You need Mario to carry your Switch 2 for sure.
Yep. So we'll see. Anybody got any final thoughts on Switch 2 before we move on?
Do you think they're ever going to come out with? I know Sakurai says he's no longer working on Smash, but like, let's say he's done working with Kirby, and then after Kirby is done, he works on the Smash Brothers, like maybe 2 years down the line.
Okay,
do you think that's going to happen?
Well, for the Kirby talk, we forgot there's Kirby Air Ride 2.
Yeah,
Kirby Air Riders is coming out soon. Also next year, is it next year, 2026? FromSoft, Dusk Bloods.
Yeah, Dusk Bloods next year.
Switch 2 exclusive, so that's going to be awesome.
And the third Hyrule Warriors game, which is and isn't Zelda at the same time. But yeah, there's kind of a Zelda game coming out.
Yeah.
My final thoughts on Switch 2, specifically Mario Kart World, is I think they're focusing too much on their free roam, like you said. I have zero interest to unlock mirror mode right now because it's locked to free roam. You have to do all these hoops to jump through in free roam mode to just get mirror mode. I don't give a fuck enough about it.
That's a hilarious point because I hadn't even thought about that. Like how valuable is like the course being mirrored when it's a straight line anyway.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
tweeners in between each course, because a lot of them, like the tweener maps, it'll be 4 laps or 5 laps, but you're spending at least 1.5 to 2 laps of that in between from the previous map that you just raced just to get to the next one. And when you finally get to the next one, you're racing what, 1.5 laps of it? So, and the only way to avoid that is when you get to the map selection, it suggests 3, which are all tweeners. If you press the plus button on your controller, you can pick a random map, and then you can actually race that map in its entirety for all 3 laps. That's the only way to do it. And there's no way to turn it off right now, which pisses me off because I don't want to do the fucking tweeners because it's all fucking straightaways. It's boring. It's gay. Just give me the fucking 3 laps of that track, and that's all I want. That's all I want to play because that's Mario Kart. The tweeners is not Mario Kart to me.
Tweeners is short for tiny wieners, right?
Yeah, and then I'm like, straight away.
Every time Bruno said tweeners, I'm like,
Kata doesn't even know what's going on. Explain to Kata what tweeners are.
So tweeners is in betweeners, in between. So when you are racing in Mario Kart World, like if you're just doing the Grand Prix for each cup, you race a track, and then the second track you start at the end of the previous track that you just raced, and it's a long straightaway that's pretty boring, and then you finally get to the next track that you're going to race in the cup, but you only do like 1.5 laps of it, and then you're done, and then repeat it, you know, for the entire.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's a filler.
Yeah,
it's a tweener. It's an in-betweener. It's a filler. It's a connector. Whatever you want to call it. But it's dumb. It's dumb. And the only way to avoid it is if you're playing online mode and you're doing it, and you give people the choice to press the plus button on your controller, and you can pick a different map. If you're just doing Grand Prix solo, there's no way to avoid it. If you're playing a cup on Grand Prix, that's it. You're gonna get the connectors, the tweeners, whatever you want to call them.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it at first, but
it's gay.
But it's starting to make sense to me now. But I didn't like it at first. Go ahead, Mike. Say something.
No, I don't know why Beard got all mad. He was like, "What the fuck, Mike?"
Well, you said, "Oh my god!" As soon as I thought we only did that to Savvy.
I was reading something, Beardo.
You only
He was distracted.
Nothing to do with you. I got distracted and bored with you explaining tweeners. I started reading something on my
Jeremy
phone.
asked me to explain it to Kata. So Kata, that's what the tweener maps are in Mario Kart World. And they're gay. They're fucking dumb.
No one calls it that outside of this stream, but
no, Beardo's the only person who
Beardo
calls it
likes the way
We all do it.
Runs with it as if
It's like the intermission.
I call it the intermissions because I don't want to be anything
No, but
like Beardo.
it's not an intermission because it counts. It's the race. It's not an intermission.
That's what they're called.
No, they're not intermissions because they count. It's part of the race.
Forcing it, it'll become a thing.
That is against what intermission means.
Well, the other thing is like it's also
Jed laughed at Beardo.
Because those straightaways are literally.
It's because he agrees with me.
Those straightaways are.
I can't have an opinion on this. I haven't played the game, so.
Go ahead, Johnny.
The straightaways are meaningless because by the time you get to lap 3, where it's about to start, you have gone from the front of the pack to the back of the pack probably 4 times. So, knowing that, I have farmed the best items, and I just drive down the straightaway. And I'm just cruising, hanging out in 22nd to 24th place. And Mike's seen it because he's always hanging out back there. And by the time we're about to start that lap 3 and it turns into a real track, that's when I use my Mega Mushroom, my Bullet, and that's how I dominated points the last few times. It's tacky. It was like, it got to the point where 75% of the race for me was just boring because I'm like, all I got to do is grab my good items and cruise and wait for my opportune moment and strike. And that just doesn't feel like a race. Like, I'm not rewarded anymore for getting up front and staying up front. Because you could do that in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. If you build enough of a lead to where you could swallow a blue shell and
blue
then
shells
still
don't matter.
your lead.
Yeah.
But in this one, it feels damn near impossible to do that because there's so many freaking blue shells. You can't hold the lead.
Also, another thing that we talked about while we were playing, the grinding, the wall riding, and doing the tricks off of ramps actually doesn't help you at all. In some cases,
the rail does.
The rails. Well, it depends on where you're at in the rail. Like if you take a rail on the outside, it's gonna hurt you.
Yes.
Whether if you're on a turn and you take the rail on the inside,
if it's a straightaway
it
rail,
depends where it's at.
I like that part though, because that part is just, to me, that's just going to get better over time because people are slowly figuring out like how to implement that, when to take the rails, when not to. But because you're right, in certain contests you could do it, but if you're going so damn wide, like there's some instances where instead of staying on the track, you should drive through the grass even though it's slower because you're cutting such a corner. And but I think that's going to get better over time. People just don't know what the shortcuts are, what rails they should take, which walls they should ride. We're figuring that out.
I was talking to Chris about this the other day, and ultimately, I think this game's going to be substantially different in a couple of years from now, with the updates and the additions that they're going to make to it.
100%.
Like I said, 8 is a better game, in my opinion. But I'm judging 8 as the version of 8 we have now versus the core base version we got on the Wii U, which I barely remember. But when I start thinking about how small the roster was, how few tracks it had in comparison to what we have now, how you could only have one item at the time. You could only have one item when 8 first released, and now you have the double item. So there's a lot of little things that 8 versus 8 Deluxe and even the DLC added to 8 after launch. So this is a better game than the launch 8, but the 8 we have now, 8 is a better game. So time will tell. Go ahead.
I was about to get into a log point, so you wrap up.
Oh yeah, so I mean, so ultimately, I like the game a lot. I think there's several missed points, and anybody that's telling you that Nintendo hit a grand slams either not wanting to admit that they either took some shortcuts, or as Savvy and Johnny probably said, like it's more so conscious decisions in order to make this game more dumbed down. Which has been a problem of mine since Double Dash. It just is. And I saw somebody in the chat saying Jeremy doesn't know what he's talking about. The Wii, Mario Kart Wii has a huge competitive scene. I've never said that it doesn't. I watched Troy 98. He's a huge Mario Kart Wii player. He's huge in the competitive scene. Mario Kart Wii, the game that as it released, not the one that all the players play online on the PC. Mario Kart Wii is substantially more normie friendly than Double Dash was. Not even close.
The truth is, even Double Dash, all of them have elements of norminess, and we try to make things competitive that aren't meant to be competitive. That's what we're doing with Mario Kart. It's harder than ever with this one. So far, it feels that way. We'll see what updates they do and everything, because that's the weird thing about Nintendo is they do this over and over again, where they come out with a game like Mario Kart 8, and then they update it over its long 10-year life cycle. And then they come out with a new Mario Kart game, and instead of that game inheriting all the cool features that the last one had, they're like, all right, now we start over again, and then we'll reintroduce some of these cool features again. Like, you might get 200cc eventually, but that'll be on an update later on. It's like, give it to me now. Why?
That's the problem with Pokemon.
Game.
It's just a very Nintendo-centric thing. Like every
Your mic sounds like shit.
God damn it.
I disagree. I don't think that there was a conscious decision to make it normie friendly to say. I think Nintendo launched the game with what they feel like they can get away with.
No, there is an actual effort in the gaming industry by major companies to continue to normize the crap out of games. Nintendo has a big problem with this, but everybody else does too. You can even see it in Call of Duty. It's a genuine problem. I think that they just could not come up with something now, and they need an extra few years. But this is a big problem with Nintendo where, we have these wonderful games with features that we like with Pokemon or Zelda. And so the very next thing that they do, like, oh, no, that was those games. These are brand new games.
there's definitely a culture of participation medals and 8th place trophies on video games right now, and on the entire world, really.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna bounce. You guys shift the conversation wherever you want to. I'm gonna go over to Cobra Cast and cover the riots, not protest, the riots in LA. But I hope you guys stay here and hang out. So thank you guys for having me and allowing me to be on this wonderful panel full of wonderful people. I've always been a fan of diversity. This is the most diverse panel I've ever seen. Whoever runs this channel really loves black people and diversity.
You have us.
He makes me so fucking angry.
We are all inside Jeremy.
Goes, don't leave, guys. I gotta go start another stream on one of my other successful channels.
Yeah.
Sorry. Thanks, guys. Get the fuck out of here.
Don't worry, the diversity hires got it. It's fine.
I have to say the thing that really scares Mike more than anything. Beardo is in charge. Bye, everyone.
Oh God!
No. Damn right.
Fucking hell,
this
bro.
is definitely gonna run so smooth, man.
All right, let's drink some toast.
So now let's
we can talk
finally
about-
get to our super chats of the night.
I've been trying to talk for a few minutes. Can I say a few things about the Switch 2 real quick?
Go for it, Jed.
All right, so a lot of people have been mentioning that the Mario Kart World is going to get updates in the future. That's the consensus I've heard from a lot of people who are playing it, and that just makes me continue to believe that I made the correct decision in waiting to buy the console, because why should I spend $500 for a game? Because that's the way I see it. It's $500 for a game when in a few years it'll be a lot better. And right now the consensus is it's good to okay. That's kind of the consensus. That's not worth $500 for me. And I think that's true of a lot of people who aren't really into Nintendo, aren't really into gaming, and aren't really hating it on other bandwagons. I like Nintendo. I want to give them money, but at this point, the Switch 2 just doesn't justify it. And nothing that I've heard from you guys on this panel or on social media is changing that mind for me when it absolutely needed to be something huge to justify that price tag. And there's a story that Dan told, I think it was 2 weeks ago, that I've been thinking about a lot. When he mentioned in Brazil on eBay, there's a lot of people who are listing the OLEDs as Switch version 2.
Yes.
And getting away with it because, you know, the way you think about it, the OLED is kind of the Switch version 2. I think that's what this Switch should have been, because it's everything the Switch is, but polished. And I further believe that when I hear stories about what Beardo's experiencing on the Pokemon games, what other people are experiencing with the Zelda games, is these aren't remasters. These aren't remakes. They're not even upscaling. These games, you're plugging in the old cartridge, basically, and it's performing better on the Switch too. It's as if these gaming companies like Game Freak and whatnot, they designed the games for the industry standard that was 2017, which is 60 frames per second and all this other good stuff, but the Switch wasn't capable of that. So the Switch 2 is fulfilling the promises of the industry standard of 2017, and everyone's rewarding it. I'm not a fan of that mentality, because this should have just been the Switch version 2, not a new console. There's no technological innovation. Imagine the difference between previous Nintendo consoles to 64. We got 3D. From 64 to GameCube, the little game discs, that was a big innovation. And then the motion controls for the Wii. The Wii U doesn't count because that's a disaster. And then the handheld console for Switch. There was a major technological innovation with all these other successful platforms or these successful consoles. And we're not seeing that here. That's why I have an unpopular opinion. Of course, it's not the reality of the situation. The Switch 2 isn't failing. I wish it did. I actually honestly wish it did right now, because then Nintendo gets the kick in the pants that they need. They're not going to be complacent anymore. And instead of getting the Switch 3, which is what we're going to get, which is just everything the Switch 2 should have been, we're going to get an innovative, technologically superior console with something else if the Switch 2 had failed. But at this point, we're just getting the Switch 3 next, which is going to be slightly polished.
I gotta push back a little bit because
I'm ready.
So hold on.
Wasn't Nintendo damned if they do? They're damned if they do. If they damned if they don't. We all said what we wanted was a better Switch. We wanted a Switch,
which was why that should have been the OLED.
I don't want Wiimotes again. That's not what I want.
I'm not saying go back. I'm saying go forward.
But what I'm saying is I don't want something wildly different. Nintendo kind of had this working in their advantage because somehow they were able to keep selling Nintendo Switches, even though their tech was so far behind the ball when it came to other consoles. And a lot of us, what we wanted was just an upgrade so that we could actually play third-party games.
So you guys
it
are saying the
shouldn't be a
same
new
thing.
console. Yeah, we're saying the same thing.
You guys are saying the same
It should be the OLED.
But
what
what
the
I'm
Switch
saying
2
is
should have been.
people wanted this. People
Mhm.
wanted it.
Really,
you know?
really what you guys are saying, and I said this the other day on my stream, the Switch 2 is more of a Switch 1 Pro.
Exactly. And we criticize PlayStation for that. This is the question that I've been asking a lot. If we keep everything with the Switch 2's launch, everything with one exclusive launch title that is okay to good, depending on your reactions to it, and then a bunch of old games that are performing better without upscaling. The technology is industry standard from almost a decade ago. Everything about the launch is the exact same, but we changed 2 words on the marketing campaign. We changed Nintendo and Switch to Microsoft and Xbox, or to Sony and PlayStation. Would people be saying it's a success? Would people be saying this is a good thing?
So
It depends though,
Let
because
him
like
cook.
people want sometimes what people want is just an enhanced version when you haven't got that or when there's room for that. But if you do that over and over again, like people are happy about
They're still
remasters.
so behind,
But when
though.
you do the Last of Us 2 thing and you remaster it and renew it like 50 times, okay, yeah, then we don't want it anymore. Nintendo can't do this again. To me,
They're
if you
so
come up
far
with the
behind,
Switch
though.
3
In
and
terms
you
of
did just
technology?
another upgrade, which doesn't really change much, and you do Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom Switch 3 edition, oh, you bet I'm gonna have problems. Like, and so I think it's like it depends on the situation. It depends whether or not it's necessary in that moment and how much they've done it up to that point.
The
And then
only
the-
thing that I would disagree with here is when Breath of the Wild came out, it was used as a Nintendo standard to say, Pokemon, what the hell are you doing? Look how wonderfully this game runs. Same thing with Xenoblade. So saying that, yes, it is, technologically limited compared to the other consoles, it served its purpose. When I go play a Nintendo game, I'm not looking to get out of it what I used to get out of my Xbox. So when you ask the question, is this what Nintendo fans want? The answer is actually yes. It's an improved Switch. Now, if you ask that to a Microsoft fanboy,
Or a PC fanboy.
no,
Yeah.
exactly. Then it starts being, well, no, that's not the case. Not every product needs to serve the same purpose. I don't want a Switch that is 4K and has all this ridiculous stuff, because then what happens? Well, developers are like, oh, look at our 4K graphics. We all know what's happened with that. The gameplay takes a hit. It's unnecessary bloat. So in that regard, it's like I agree with you, but disagree with you. I think the product serves a completely different purpose. That said, there's zero reason to buy a Switch today. There's zero reason to hop on the hype. Wait for Pokemon. Wait for some of the system updates. The Wi-Fi is kind of inconsistent.
So,
but
yes
And
and
I
no.
do agree with
So-
that. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not trying to hate. I will buy a Switch 2 someday
it's
when
a
there's
lot of-
exclusives that I care
it's
about.
nuanced.
And it's about the games, right? It's
Yeah.
about the games that you can get for the Switch right now. But the argument for, oh, I'm going to wait maybe for like a Switch 2 Pro, look how long that took for the Switch to do. The Switch launched in what, 2017, 2018? And then when did the OLED come out? 2023? So it's like 2022 or 2023. So that was 5 years until the OLED, which wasn't a graphical improvement. It just had a better screen, right? So to think like, oh, I'm just going to wait a year or two until the Switch 2 Pro comes out, that ain't going to happen, because that's not how Nintendo rolls. So if you're going to hold out on the Switch 2, if you're looking for like software as far as like games goes, then then that's fine. But to think you're going to hold out on the Switch 2 until an upgraded model of the actual hardware in the Switch
that's
comes,
never going to happen.
You're
I would
going to be
love
waiting
that,
a
man.
long fucking time.
You know what I would love?
I'm not trying to say
I personally don't care about handheld mode on the Switch, and I know handheld mode is what kind of keeps us from getting better hardware in the Switch. And I personally don't care about that. I would love if they release a Switch 2 Pro, or however you want to call it, that is just dock mode with better hardware.
I
Or
don't
better
think
yet,
that's-
call it the
They're never
Super
going to do it, but that would be
I
awesome.
don't think that that's
That
ever
would be
going to
awesome.
happen for
I don't think
Nintendo
it will
again.
happen.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo,
but I
since the
would
Game
love that.
Boy, since
Yes.
the Game Boy has always been handheld and then your at-home console. You had your DS and then the GameCube, the DS 3D and then the Wii. And then since the Switch, you didn't have that because they combined both of them in one. You have your at-home console and your mobile console all in one. I think that's what Nintendo's going to go with for the foreseeable future, and unless they decide, you know what, this ain't working out, we're going to switch it. But I think it's working for them right now. So you're going to have your at-home and your mobile all in one
And
with the
that's
It would be
docking.
cool to have the
Yeah.
option.
That's the purpose. We keep trying to say, oh, I want this to be, you know, this at-home thing with more power, but that's not the purpose. That's not the product they're making. We do have to take that into account. Like Dan said, you know, he doesn't care about handheld, but that's why people buy Nintendo. They didn't just buy it because, oh, cute games. No, it's literally, this is handheld. This is the culture. That's
they
open.
released a handheld only Switch 1, but they won't release a docked only.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So the light one is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The DS Lite.
The
The
light
Switch
doesn't
Lite.
have a dock. Yeah.
I just think we need to give Jed credit for an excellently executed monologue.
It was beautiful. It's nuanced.
He did a great job. And then immediately Johnny was like, I'm so fucking sick of this guy.
No.
And then he agreed with me.
I had enough.
Johnny and Jed,
my point. I haven't
Johnny and Jed were like saying the same thing.
Yeah, I think what it comes down to is marketing.
No, let's let Johnny go. Let's let Johnny go.
I am completely okay and in support of Jed because, dude, buy what you want. Spend your money on what you want, and you know, if Nintendo's not going to win you over, that's a business thing. That's a capitalism thing. That's on them. Do what you want. I want it now for a variety of reasons, but I will say this. Gamers just want different things. And I think that as much as you want to talk about the console wars, I think it's cool that, you know, we have our Sony fans, we have our Xbox fans, we have our Nintendo fans, and they have different things and they have different things to expect. Because when I'm playing Tears of the Kingdom, does it look fantastic? Absolutely, it looks fantastic. But as I was playing it, I genuinely thought this, and I said it to my wife. I was like, as good as this looks, I don't need this. I didn't need this. It looked good enough on the Switch 1. I didn't need industry standard. I enjoyed the hell out of this game. And as long as it's a good game, it's got good gameplay, I get invested in the story, that sort of thing. That's the game I want. And if you pushing to this industry standard is going to have to make you sacrifice some of those other things, then I, as a typical Nintendo fan, am okay with that. Like, you can be behind the 8-ball a little bit. But for some people, that's not it. They want photorealistic gameplay, and you know what? More power to you.
Well,
that's
and then
the type of gamer you are.
We'll see that when
I
we
do
get
need to clarify.
Well, real quick, we'll see that when we get to FromSoft's Dust Bloods, because that's going to be the real Switch 2 test, because you're getting a FromSoft exclusive. And from what people are saying, that's going to be an exclusive forever. It's not like a timed exclusive where we're going to get it on PC. So we're going to be able to compare, you know, the PC performance versus the Switch 2 performance for Dust Bloods. It's looking like it's going to be on Switch 2 forever. So that's going to be the real test next year with your photorealistic open world game for that.
That'd be cool.
So, but anyways, Johnny, go ahead.
They do have Cyberpunk, by the way, on it. My husband's thinking about buying it. I don't know if anybody else has, but that's like sort of photorealistic, yeah? So that would be fast.
I do need to clarify. I don't care about graphics that much. I think 60 frames per second is a scam because our eyes only go at 24 to 30 frames per second. It hits the uncanny valley for me. The reason I brought up that argument is because that is a big argument that I've heard for people saying why the Switch 2 is great. I'm just brought it up to say, shouldn't we judge them by the same standards? Why are we acting like this is a good thing if it's industry standard from a decade ago?
No,
I'm also with Johnny. I like gameplay and story over
30
graphics.
and 60.
I definitely see the difference.
No, I can see the difference, but it
my
doesn't.
small eyes
Your
can see it. Your
brain-
big ass eyes can see it. All right.
your brain
If you ever
is...
played FF7 remake on PS4 and play it on PS5, it's completely different. Especially
You can tell the difference.
Can't be real though. It triggers uncanny valley for me. So I'll switch to my eye statements. 60 frames per second is a problem for me, but it makes it feel so unreal and less photorealistic if I'm running at 60 frames per second. So I'll use my eye statements to correct there.
I can understand the argument between 60 to like 180 or 240 frames.
Yeah.
But from 30 to 60, I do notice a very big difference.
Absolutely. I miss 60 frames per second at this point. I've been playing on the PC for so long.
I know what Ted's saying about that uncanny valley. I can't play Genshin Impact in 60 frames. It just doesn't look right to me for some reason. And I worry that has kind of really skewed, like people just kind of gaslit themselves into saying that this is necessary in everything.
No, it's not necessary at all.
Yeah.
So like it's a matter of taste.
Yeah.
But there is a difference, definitely.
Johnny, you had something to say.
Not really. I mean, it was just the point for me is, again, games are taking longer to develop, and more games are being released nowadays that are not complete. And as you push this standard to just look better, run at a better speed, just make the world bigger and that sort of thing. And I'm just saying, like, I don't care what box you put in. Call me a typical normie Nintendo fan. Sure, I like fun games. That's what I like. I like fun, complete games. And when you start saying that this game needs to be everything to the point it looks so realistic, no, that's not what Wind Waker was. That's not what I need it to be. I want it to be a fun, complete game. And like, as much as I'm enjoying the Switch 2, the things we're talking about on Mario Kart, like the straightaways, or Knockout Tour, and that's the thing that makes the difference to me between whether or not a Nintendo game is a great game or a good game. Tears of the Kingdom being buttery smooth the way it is on the Switch 2 from the Switch 1 is not the difference maker to me. And that's how I see it. And I'm not saying everybody has to see it that way,
man.
But that's
I
what
was
it
so
is.
happy.
And I agree with that. I already have Tears of the Kingdom on the Switch, and it ran with no issue. So if I want to replay it, I can just replay it and wait till the Switch 2 has exclusives that I'm interested in.
Personally, for me, it made such a difference, man. That's to personal taste, but man, I've been waiting. I've been talking to you guys about it for a long time. How I've been waiting to play those games in 60 frames,
which is funny to me, Dan, because like I respect that, and I appreciate that you're a different guy, but you're the retro gamer, so that's.
But I think that's actually why. Because Dan, so you spend so much time. You'd say just about daily. You're probably engaging with something retro related, yeah.
Almost daily, for sure. Yeah.
So you probably notice that more so than somebody else. Like say me, like I'll go play Marvel Rivals for a few hours or whatever, and then I'll jump into another game, and then I'll go play Zelda. So like that difference isn't noticeable for me because they're all pretty comparable in terms of smoothness. But if you're focusing daily on retro, I think that smoothness for you is a treat.
But there's definitely also some retro games that ran like shit. Famously or infamously, Ocarina of Time, Johnny, ran at like 20 frames per second. And so like, I just want good performance in whatever console or generation that's supposed to have. The performance that generation is supposed to run, that game is supposed to run on that console. I want the best performance for that. And if it's 240p, but appropriate to the medium, appropriate for that time, so be it. In my opinion, it's 2025. Things should be in 1440p at least. So it's more like I enjoy period accuracy, regardless if it's retro or new. That's why I would love to have a Switch 2 with more powerful hardware.
Yeah, and that's where I'll bring Pokemon back into it. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet when it first launched on the Switch 1.
One of the things that make me the most excited on the Switch 2 is being able to play Switch 1 games how they were supposed to.
Exactly. And that's exactly how Pokemon Scarlet Violet is. Like, I've been streaming it the past 2 nights, and I have several people in my chat who are saying that they played it on the Switch 1. They never felt like getting the DLC because they were, disappointed with the poor performance of the game on Switch 1, where it's playable. It's not like it's game breaking, but it's not satisfying. Where when they're seeing me play it on the Switch 2, they're like, "Holy fuck, I'm gonna pick up this game again." Even Ryan Kennel has been streaming Pokemon Violet on the Switch 2. Yeah, he's been playing it because I've been talking to him about it. I'm like, dude, you should play it on the Switch 2. It performs so much better. It performs like how it should have on the Switch 1, on the Switch 2. So, all right. So we're gonna wrap up that conversation. Get into some super chats here.
Just quick final thought. I don't overcomplicate things. I just like what I like. If I can afford it and I'm willing to afford it, I do. If I cannot, I don't. And I don't overcomplicate things more than that.
Beardo looks pissed.
Well, no, I'm not pissed. I think that is an important thing to say, Dan. Because I agree with you. That's why I'm not personally buying the Switch 2, but I'm not going out there and telling people they shouldn't buy it. I made a personal decision based on what I see as the situation, $500 for a game that's okay to good. And so, yeah, it's ultimately up to the individual person, and that is absolutely important. Nintendo fans want to buy it, so the situation is what it is. I just think it could be better. And of course, those are I statements, not universal statements.
I will say there is one final benefit to all of this. The one final benefit is the possibility that some normies just can't afford it, and so they won't ruin the Pokemon discourse when Pokemon drops. I've heard like financial gatekeeping. That's just me.
They'll buy a Switch 2 when Pokemon drops.
I know.
Yeah, Pokemon's gonna be huge.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Tom Berry
by
Master.
the way,
Thanks, Dan.
sorry.
Tom Berry Master with the 50. Thank you. Tom Berry Master says nothing. Thank you for the $50, sir. We got a few more of them here. We got Drew, Operation Outstanding in Field with a 50. Says, yo, I'll be speaking and competing in an adaptive cycling event for vets this weekend. 50 miles as a group bike ride. It's about time. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Drew, for the 50, man, and good luck.
If it's in Texas, let me know. I might come.
If it's in Texas. Thomas Ryan with a $50. Jed is 100% right. Nintendo released hardware with specs equal to a weak 2020 laptop. Only one real new game, and instead of punishing Nintendo for releasing outdated junk, all the Nintendo cucks went out and bought it. Especially me!
No, it's not cucks, man.
I've been one of the most,
people who are fans
vocal
are fans.
against it.
Just let people be happy.
I'm glad people are enjoying the Switch too. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
Like I bought 2
Thomas
and I
Ryan.
still complain about it.
Yeah, I think Mario Kart World is underwhelming as far as a day one launch. I think Mario Kart World is an incomplete game, and I think that the whole gimmick with the free roam and to unlock a lot of the different modes through free roam, I think it's bullshit. It's gay, in my opinion.
I think there's also a reason why it's not as easy to skip tracks like you were talking about, wishing to be able to, or the in-betweeners like you were talking about, Beardo, because they realize the novelty is going to wear off. I fully believe that if, like a month or two, they release that setting where you could just set your cup and skip in-betweeners as default for that entire match or whatever, people would do it. Open world would dwindle.
Yeah, there's probably going to be
It is tough to go from 96 tracks to however many way fewer tracks there are in Mario Kart World. So yeah, maybe that is a big part of it.
Something.
So yeah, they want to force people to keep engaging with it, I think.
Yeah. Thank you, Thomas Ryan, for the $50. Let's see here. We got JB username with a 20. Says Beardo spends more money on plungers than Mike does on insulin. It's very concerning.
What's plungers?
The thing you unclog a toilet with.
Toilet
Oh,
plunger.
okay.
Yeah, you
Why
pump
would
it
you
very hard.
spend a lot of money with that?
I don't.
Just buy one.
I have
Hold
one.
on, Dan. What do you call that over there?
Plungers?
Yeah.
Oh,
In Portuguese.
I don't know.
You guys don't have
Desentupidor. Desentupidor. Can you say that?
Yep. Plunger is a
I'm
lot
not even
simpler.
gonna try.
Desentupidor.
I'm not gonna try it, Dan.
Try, Chris.
Let's see here.
Sounds better.
Kevin O'Connor from. Donna Farron with a $10 for Beardo and Dan's very non-gay strap-on fun to preserve the big power.
What?
Thank you, Donna Farron. Thanks.
Strap on?
I don't know. Thank you, Donna
What is a
Farron.
strap on, Savvy?
No, shut the fuck up.
You're
Now
just
you're
gonna ask
on.
us
No
about
English
that.
for you.
A
Shut
male
up.
number.
Shut up.
I wanna
Just
learn.
deleted Splitgate 2. Dude gave a banger of a drop mic moment and got us all downloaded the game and then dropped to his knees to apologize to everyone that didn't. Fuck that. Have fun with the cancel mob. Damn.
I heard about that. Who posted about that? I think it was Mike.
And I've been looking forward to Splitgate 2. I love Splitgate 1.
I hope they support him, dude, because we won't. That's crazy, dude.
Damn.
It's a good video.
And it was all about the skin bundle, right?
No,
about
it
the
was
skin
about,
bundle, the price
it
of
was
the skin
about him
bundle.
wearing the hat that said.
But no, fuck
Make
that.
NBA.
Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about the fucking hat that he was wearing. I think most
That's
of us agree
that's
with
what he
the hat he was
apologized
wearing.
for.
What was he wearing?
That's what he apologized for? Was the hat? Well, we have it pulled
Yeah.
up. I have it pulled up. So we can do that, which I think most of us agreed with. The gripe he was getting for the past few days was the skin bundle that apparently went from $140 for this skin bundle, went down to $90, and then it went 40% off. That's what most people were pissed about. Like all of us, we didn't give a fuck that he wore the hat that said making first-person shooters great again. We all agree that Call of Duty has been in a shit state for 10 years plus. Nobody cared about that. It was the skin bundle or whatever that he was bitching about. But I have this. I haven't listened to it yet, but we'll listen to it in its entirety right now.
Hey guys, it's Ian. You're probably tired of seeing my face by now, but I promise this message is going to be a little bit different than the previous ones. So I've got a lot of questions about what's up with the hat, why'd you wear it, what was the intent, and I want to start by explaining myself. It is really freaking hard as an independent studio to break through the noise. You go to these award shows. We saw it at TGA's. We had this great trailer, and there's 50 other great trailers, and didn't really have an impact. And so
I will say this real quick. I think part of the problem with why he's doing this is he's been getting more exposure in the past week and a half than he's probably ever has in his entire life, and he doesn't know how to handle it or operate it. I think that's why he's going to social media as well.
Some people who are new to being like on social media, it happens.
He doesn't realize it'll go away in 2 days if he just stops talking about it.
If he just shut the fuck up and didn't say anything.
Yeah.
At our biggest stage, coming out of beta, we needed something to grab attention. And the honest truth is, we tried to think of something, and this is what we came up with. We did not intend for this to be taken in any political way whatsoever. And I'm not an idiot. Like, obviously, I knew there would be some level of controversy, but we really saw this as a meme that was kind of stating our truth, which is we do want to improve this genre. We are disappointed with the state of the genre. And so we took it as a meme that we thought would not be nearly as received the way it was, negatively received as the way it was. And so I want to apologize. And genuinely, you can pretend, you don't have to believe me. But the truth is I am sorry. And the reason I'm sorry is because of what this has done.
This hurts,
to the
man.
community. The most important thing to me right now is I want to have an amazing community. That is the reason that I built 1047. That's the reason I love my job, is because I wake up every day. I have friends in the community, Mikavelli, Tovar, all these great people who I play games with, who I get their feedback, I talk to them. I mean, these are the people who got us through the dark times. And I hate seeing division. And that's what I'm seeing right now on both sides. There's division in the community. And for that, I am truly sorry. And again, I'll reiterate, I do stand by the intent of this, which is the intent.
If you see division in the community and you wanted to make a statement, and if you believe so strongly in a certain point of view, then why the fuck are you apologizing to the other side that you disagree with?
What a
apology is an admission of guilt.
What
This guy's a fucking pussy.
all you did, you just got on your knees and let them just do whatever they wanted to in your face.
That's terrible, man.
That's
terrible because it empowers.
Thank you. That's all you did.
Well, and the thing is and after he wore the hat, if he would have just shut up, not said anything, whether you want to address the skin pack or whatever, separate that. You wearing the hat, if you didn't apologize to it, dude, so many people would have supported you and downloaded this game. The player base would have been through the roof and bought the hat. Yes, correct.
Sell it as merch.
Buying the merch as well. Yeah, like if they were like, we're gonna make this hat and we're gonna mass produce it, we're gonna sell it to you guys because we believe in this. This is like our true values. Like, this game had so much hype. People are looking for because Halo's dead. Halo Infinite's dead. Master Chief Collection, what are they doing? They're not playing like Halo 4, Halo 5. They're going back and playing Combat Evolved, Halo 2, Halo 3. People want the next great Halo-like shooter with a gimmick like Portal integrated into it. It's awesome. It's fucking awesome. People have been clipping the Splitgate betas for months now. And wearing the hat, you're only going to get people like us to mass download the game. And what does he do? He makes this fucking critical mistake of going out and apologizing to those fucking losers.
Never ever. Go ahead, Savvy.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, go to the private chat and I'll show you what type of person is the one complaining about the hat.
Guys, never ever to the up and coming creators out there, never ever apologize to a cancel mob, because if you appease temporarily the cancel mob, those people will stick around, but those are the people you don't want to stick around, because you are making yourself, you are creating an audience that you will be a hostage. They will make you a hostage of their sensibilities, and that will happen again and again and again. You have to apologize again and again and again until you will be completely someone else that you are not. and you'll be a hostage to that mask that you have to wear, and you eventually burn out. So
And that's because of the cancel mob. That's how the cancel mob.
Don't ever do that.
That's how the cancel mob operates. They don't take an apology as like sincerity. They don't take it as like, okay, this guy genuinely is sorry. Let's forgive him. The cancel mob is like, like Jed said, he admitted he's guilty. He admitted he's wrong. Now we're going to drag him through the fucking mud, and we're going to ruin his fucking life. And we're going to make sure that this game is never successful because he apologized. Nowadays, online with cancel culture, you can't apologize. You can't do it.
No, it's the same thing with, it's the same thing with Sydney Sweeney's mom, right? She had her hat that says make 60 great again. Everyone tried to cancel her. She didn't say jack shit. And people still bought her soap. I missed out.
All he had to do
Phil's
was
just coping about not getting the soap. He doesn't nothing.
You didn't get it, Phil? Oh man.
What's frustrating is there is in life and relationships, there's value in sincere apologizing. If you're a dickhead and you know it, and you did something where you screwed up and you know it in your heart of hearts, if I did something screwed up to Dan, I've apologized to people on this panel before because I said something in such a way that I was like, that's not how I meant it. I want you to know I value your friendship. That's not how I see you, that sort of thing. There's value in that. But now it's like people have skewed it so much with this social media BS that it's like we've lost the value of apologizing. That's the problem with these online apologies. They're fake. He doesn't feel any differently about what he did. Internally, he doesn't feel any differently. All he's doing is trying to appease people to not get their wrath. That's all he's doing. It's all business decisions. It's all fake. And honestly, they don't even care about getting his apology. They care about him conforming to their will because they like being in control. And so that's just the frustrating thing. It's like there's power in like sincere relationships and apologizing and coming together. But this is none of that. It's all fake, and it's. But
you do it in private, right? Like, Johnny, you're saying like if you needed to apologize, or if anybody needed to apologize to somebody, you're not going to make a Twitter video saying I publicly apologize to Dan Vass for calling him gay.
Exactly.
Like you're not going to do that. You'll text them and say, hey man, I said something I didn't really mean. I got caught up in the moment. Whatever. Hope we're good. But you don't blast it on social media.
Yeah.
There's a great quote from Christian.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Well, I don't know if anybody said it or not, but like the other part of this is like you're talking to a mob that doesn't even buy fucking games.
Yes.
Time and time again, we've seen them go out into a cause. We've seen these companies, movie companies, musician stuff cater to these people, and then their shit flops. Because the audience that they actually should have been talking to and actually interacting with were the people that weren't making them apologize for wearing a fucking hat. Like, these people aren't going to buy his game. There's going to be no spike in numbers. They're not going to celebrate or praise his game because they're not even fucking good enough to play it. Like, they're not actual gamers. They have no actual clue what actual gaming is like. And we've watched them time and time again destroy franchises because of this. And it was like,
they're just online and on Twitter just to get mad.
100%. That's all they're looking for, man. And for him to apologize like this, dude, and his apology was like, it's just so fucking fake, man. I was like, bro, you don't even mean it. Like, you're just fucking saying whatever somebody else told you to say, man. It's fucking embarrassing, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Kata, then Jed, and then we'll pull up Savvy's tweet. Go ahead, Kata.
Yeah.
All I was gonna say is he could have had the perfect response. He could have said, "Hey, if you're offended by that, okay. If you're not, this is what we meant by it, and go on about your day." All you had to say is, "Oh, all we meant was make FPS great again." That's it. If you thought something else, that's a you problem. That's all you had to say. That's all you had to say.
This is what we believe in.
Like, oh, okay, cool. All right, he's talking about FPS, and if you say something differently, that has nothing to do with him because he already said how he felt about it. But no, he decided to bend over. So.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Just like Beardo said, the cancel culture mob has no power that is not given to them, so don't give them any power. Don't listen to them. But Christian Bale actually has a great quote on this subject. He said, if you have a problem with me, text me. If you don't have my number, you don't know me well enough to have a problem with me. That's just the way we should operate in our lives, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of
Well, he revealed he was a weak-minded individual when he said, "Our truth, my truth." Listen, there's truth and there's lies.
I
And
cringed at
that
that too.
Yeah.
That is
Yes.
right, that right there tells me you're not the kind of individual I want to deal with, because there's the truth and there's false. Okay, so
Yep.
don't give me that my truth. If it was your truth and you were embracing your truth, then why are you apologizing for it?
That's
Because
such
truth
a
isn't
gay
relative.
He's a
expression,
fucking
man.
pussy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
The whole
my
your
truth.
truth versus my truth. No, there's reality. There's truth and not truth. Savvy, go ahead and explain this.
So this is just a set of tweets from a DEI consulting group called Black Girl Gamers.
Oh, these bitches again.
You're cutting a little bit, Savvy.
Yeah, your
I
mic sounds
can't
like
hear
shit.
you. Cut in and
I
out
just
a
switched
lot,
it.
actually.
Wait, is it still doing it?
Now
Oh,
it's
you're
better.
good
No, it's good now.
No,
You
it's
just gotta lean into your microphone a little bit.
Okay, so basically this is a DEI group called Black Girl Gamers, and the original post that I'm quoting there is from Grums, and so they had made a post on LinkedIn, but the only important part is the very last paragraph where they said our consulting services aren't just reserved for game development and narrative design. Even a short consultation can help ensure your output is reflective and mindful of the current climate and audiences. And if you go back to mine, I went ahead and just reminded everybody how obsessive they are. They went on Blue Sky, and then they have multiple posts about this. They also complained that there should be a warning about an anti-Japanese slur before a trailer, despite it being fitting for the time period. They also decided to shill their own hat, but they have to give it away because nobody will buy it. If you go down into the second tweet, though, this is what they
This
do.
one?
They are...
This one?
Yeah. So well, that one just shows that they're just obsessing over it. The tweet on the very top, or the Blue Sky post on the very top, just says that, oh, it's got the anti-Japanese slur. And so they made multiple posts about it. But if you go to my second tweet, there's their thing. And then they had to give it away because nobody wants to buy it.
Oh, your second tweet it's below?
Yeah. So now there's a second
the
tweet.
controversial hat is not even red. It's like
No,
it's
it's not. It's black.
Yeah.
It's just
It's
a
the words.
phrase. I was thinking of a red hat like Super MAGA.
Yeah.
Wow.
But if
Makes
you go down
blank
to-
great again is not one thing and shouldn't
Yeah.
be one
Yeah,
thing. It can
it's-
mean a million things.
Yeah.
They need to
So-
calm their
Funny.
tits.
These are some tweets about how they operate. So the first one there is when I got my block, and so there was a company that just jokingly put jiggle physics into their character creator, and Black Girl Gamers threw a big shit fit saying boobs are a sensitive subject, blah, blah, blah. But if you go to the very last one there, they are the joke police. So somebody said, oh, hey, this is a joke about just saying, oh, I'd kill for a sandwich. We've all said that at least once in our lives. You're really thirsty. You'd say, I'd kill for a glass of water. No, they decide jokes can be in poor taste. Jokes can be racist. Jokes can be transphobic. Jokes can validate harmful stereotypes about marginalized groups. This is
Keyword
what
is
they
jokes.
Your racist jokes are funny though.
Keyword
They're
is
fucking hilarious.
jokes.
I need you guys to remember,
If you're
they're
emotionally
British, though.
sensitive and mentally unstable to where you can't handle a joke, that's your fault, not mine.
Yeah, you shouldn't go to a comedy show like you've seen like Dave Portnoy having an absolute fucking meltdown this past week with one of his employees who hosts a
Oh my
podcast.
God, that was terrible.
Bro, a Brazilian comedian was sentenced to 8 years in prison. I don't know if you guys heard about that. It's famously running around all over the world.
You got to be careful,
It's
Dan.
crazy. It's crazy.
And there's
man.
going to be jokes that are based in stereotypes, but it's like, you're going to
jokes.
Why is my camera off? You're going to hear jokes that are based in stereotypes, but it's like, how long have those stereotypes been around? Why are those stereotypes? Are they based in truth? More likely than not, yes, they are. But it's funny to point out when you're being comedic about it. That's the whole fucking point of jokes, okay? And if it offends you, that says more about you and the stereotype that is being joked about. Maybe you should do something about it. Instead of being offended, maybe you should actually take some accountability for it. You know what I'm saying? If it's going to offend you.
Exactly. This is why we always say Beardo eats corn the long way.
Freak
out, Beardo.
Well, and an interesting trend you see with these people is they're not very happy individuals. Like, we found it funny, they got offended by it. That's why we're happier than them.
They're constantly miserable. Anger management problems, depression, and other things where they just constantly complain about sadness. It is all over all of their pages. It is so predictable that I don't even need to see like the usual markers of a flag or watermelon. I can just go over to their profile, type in the word depressed or whatever, and lo and behold, here's a whole slew of them.
And Savvy,
It's learned helplessness.
Those people, yes, and those people are desperate to make you one of them.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. That is
It's
big
their
thing.
only meaning in life, and accepting that, realizing and accepting that human nature, it's very liberating. And navigating life.
That's why they try to
accordingly.
isolate you. They say, "Oh, your family and friends around you don't support you, but I support you." And then suddenly you become the depressed crowd that you are hanging out with. That's why these people are constantly just walking messes of hormonally imbalanced individuals who cannot think for themselves.
Yeah, the only way that you can vindicate your own feelings is by spreading your depression and your helplessness. That's a horrible mindset, and we used to diagnose stuff like this. Why would you want to spread your torment?
Yeah.
They want to normalize
just so
it.
you're not the only loser around.
Hey, they're the
cheeks,
positivity
not depression.
pillars, so you know they're all about positivity, and all they do is try to bring you down. It's great. Gotta
Spread
love it.
cheeks, not depression.
Cheeks, not depression. Wow, Mike.
So that's the shirt I'll buy.
I'm sorry. Like, am I wrong?
That
just
is
said,
actually
"Wow,
very
Mike."
marketable.
That's well said.
I didn't disagree.
Just
Let me
gonna write that
tickle you.
down.
Yo, geez, you look pretty miserable. I'm gonna go have sex now. Stop trying to tickle me.
Dan's never avoiding these creepy tickler allegations.
All right, let's
Creepy
read some super
tickler.
chats. Thank you, Sean Nagrinall. Sean Nagrinall kicked off that conversation there. Phil likes Miki's 8-inch cake with a $10. Says,
Oh, wow.
did someone ring for me?
No, nobody rang for you.
It's insane.
Buttery God with a 10 in quotes. All this dickstruction, I'm loving it. McDonald's.
What?
Thank you, Buttery God, for the $10. Harbinger with a 10. Is Beardo confessing he can eat more sausage than Mike? We were talking about cake, by the way. I don't know. That's kind of gay, bro.
You did bring up
Anyways,
hot dogs.
Yeah, you
I
did.
said, have you ever
I'd rather
watched
slurp down a hot
many
dog
hot
than
dogs
enjoy
I
a
can
nice
shove
cake.
down
Nitrous,
my throat?
shut the fuck up. I was talking
You know how
about
many
the
lubed
Nathan's
up
hot
hot
dog
dogs
eating
I
contest,
can
which is
shove
a
down my
national tradition. Every single 4th of July, they have the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. And all the skinny dudes do better than the fat guys.
Beardo paying attention to all the
because,
20-second
because
hot
the
dogs.
fat guys had to
I'm
put
eating
on their
Beardo's
mustard,
eating hot
ketchup,
dogs.
relish
We're
on all
not
the
the same.
dogs. And the skinny
Don't.
No, they fuck.
Beardo.
You've never watched.
You're not.
Never watched.
You
Nobody's
clearly have never
fucking
watched.
mustard on it. They're in a
I watched the
competition.
Nathan's
They're trying
hot
to
dog
get
eating
a hot dog.
contest
That's
every
the
year on
kid.
4th of
You think
July.
that man's gonna have more
Ask
experience
Krista.
than a guy
Ask
who has
Are we
Krista.
just gonna
Shut
slide
the
that
fuck
Beardo
up,
watches
Savvy.
dudes shoving down hot dogs?
Fuck. I almost
It's
fucking
always
said it.
Beardo's right. Hold on. Beardo's right. It is always the skinny guys. Okay, Kobayashi, Joey Chestnut, but
But not for the
those
reason
guys-
he said.
The
those
fat guys had to
guys-
put on the fucking mayo and
Nobody
ketchup on their
does
dogs
that.
and fucking
They
eat
don't
it.
do that.
Yes, they do. You haven't watched it. You don't watch the annual 4th of July Independence
we
Day
not
Nathan's
calling him
hot dog
out?
eating contest.
Are we listening to him say he's arguing with us that he watches dudes eat hot dogs?
Not
Hey,
just
Yeah, it
Let
sounds
me
like he
get
has to
that.
watch
You
this
watch-
alone.
Dude.
You haven't watched
It
as much
is
as I
a
have.
national holiday.
You know how many
The 4th
men
of
I've
July.
watched?
First time I've
The
heard him say
Nathan's
that.
hot dog
bro.
eating contest.
Yeah,
You
I didn't
how
even
many
know it
men
was
I've
yearly.
watched just shovel hot dogs right down their mouths, and it's always the skinny ones that do the best.
It's true. You guys should watch it.
Yes,
It's fun.
but the fact
Harbinger
that
with a
Why
10. I'm
do
reading
show
super
hot
chat.
dogs in their
Harbinger
on
with
the
a
hot
10.
dog.
Wild. No, we're having a
anyways-
conversation. This is important.
Anyways, Beardo cake eating
I'm
stream.
eating
When
cake.
you could do a waffy stack.
He's not eating a
Dan,
cake
you
stream.
doing a cake stream after Beardo?
He's not doing a cake stream.
Hell no.
I'm just saying I could actually finish the damn cake.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be
what
kind
happy
of
after.
cake, though?
I'm not
You
going to be
won't do it.
happy after, but I could
You
do
won't
it.
do it.
Let's see.
I could.
You won't.
I could do it.
You won't do it. So there's no
Motherfuckers,
proof.
I'm telling you guys. You guys.
You can tell us all day long.
I'm
Anybody
telling you
can
guys.
say it.
I could fuck. I could.
Nobody
I
can
could
do
do
it
it.
too.
DoorDash one right now. We'll do it
Pussy
live.
Nobody.
No,
Oh,
we're
you
not
want to
doing
get out of a competition?
$500 super chat. He'll DoorDash
For
it.
$500 super chat. Beardo will eat a cake on stream.
Nitrous, I
Do
do
it
that
live.
for free.
Then do it.
Just to prove a point.
Then fucking do
All
it.
right, get out your phone.
No, because then when I do it, and then Mike's gonna be like, Beardo copied my idea.
That's not what I'm
Check
gonna
my
say.
monkey.
Bro, that's
He's
the
giving you
biggest
permission
fucking
right now.
cop out ever.
Okay. So Mike, what's gonna happen when I do it, and I
I'll say
eat
congratulations,
and
you
I
ate a
beat
whole
the
cake
entire
on
cake?
You have to give him your Switch 2 coin if he does
I'm not
it.
giving him my fucking coin. It's worth a lot more than Beardo shoving food down his throat.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Listen, I'm
know
eating
about
cake.
that.
Beardo's eating hot dogs. We're not the fucking same.
Whatever food it is, pizza, cheeseburgers, hot wings, anything. I can fucking eat more than all you guys. I
You brought up
could.
hot dogs. That was the first
Alright.
thing you went to.
Yeah, I
bro.
just said
I
hot
do
dogs. I
have
could
to
do that
agree
too.
with that point. All the people I know who are the biggest eaters are not the heavy set ones. It's the skinny ones. I know a 4'11" tall girl who's skin and bones who eats more than 3 guys I know combined. Like that's
So
a
by
pretty
this
common thing
logic,
I've seen.
then, It's guaranteed I eat more than Beardo.
It's
No, that's
probably
not
true.
Ooh, I
That's
want to
not
see
And I
this.
keep this
On
is
a
the thing,
daily
too, Beardo
I can
basis.
throw it
keeps
down.
Beardo keeps assuming that this is about the cake size. It's not. It is about the
I
sugar
never said that
intake.
either.
It's
That's
the
fine.
fucking sugar. It's
If we
not
did-
fine.
If we did we should do like a eating contest on
Oh,
stream.
God.
I would
Beardo won't
wipe.
compete
I would
against
wipe
me.
the floor with all you guys.
Eating
I'm not
contest.
participating in
I would.
this.
I'll just
I
be
would
that
wipe the
guy
floor.
who's just
Anything while a bunch of
slowly
guys are
installing-
eating
Beardo
food
would
around
wipe.
you. He's like, I will wipe
Come on,
so
Krista,
many
you
things
know
with
you
you
are.
guys.
Hold on.
I'm not going to help film a commercial for
and
diabetes
Krista
medication.
and Jed have seen me throw down food. I'll fucking wipe the floor. If we're doing
Why are you
if,
trying to wipe anything?
whether it's hot food
Beardo will
or
wipe all of us.
whether it's
Hey,
hot food
Beardo
or
wipes.
quantity of food,
Is that a threat?
I'm throwing down.
I don't want to
get
be
that
white.
hey, put that in the
What
comments
is
right now.
Dan
Beardo
Bask
White.
doing?
Yes.
He looks like he's eating a hot dog.
He's
off
having
screen.
fun.
He's doing his monkey, that's why.
All right. Super
I like
chat.
Sam's
Do you
NTR
like
Uncle
Sergio?
with the 10. NTR Uncle with the 10. I leave to visit my baby mama in El Salvador for a week, and everything is on fire. What else change? Is Beardo fit? Did Savvy shower? Does Mike not like to take it up the poop chute no more?
Oh, man.
No shower.
I'm not gay.
Thank you for the 10. Thank you.
I'm on day 8
Finger
for
with
my
the 10 says Beardo got his bananas. Meek hunts for hot dudes, and Dan's into furries. Geeks and Gamer has truly got the gay.
Hey,
Wait, you're into furries now?
no, just because I got a
Oh.
monkey plushie.
Oh,
That's
so-
all it
yeah, I
takes.
guess it's a little furry.
Furries are
not
the
gay.
most disgusting human beings ever conceived. It's
Not
like
gay.
they keep in their suits like full of cum or whatever. I don't know.
That's not nice to say about Phil.
What?
Never mind.
Is Phil a furry?
No.
Did
Food
Dan
and
go down a
furries are
rabbit hole
different.
after finding out what a strap-on is?
Are we gonna skip past the fact
I,
that Steffi said
I'm
she's
not
on
American.
day 8 of her shorts? Are we gonna skip past that?
We don't want
That
to
is
think about it.
disgusting.
Bro, that's the thing. Like, she can't say anything that's
Infection.
going to make us think any less of her at this point.
That is gross.
She set the
That's
bar.
They're so
That's
cozy.
like
It's a
That shit
genius
is rancid.
It's a
Guys
genius
can
strap.
Wait,
guys can
day
get away
8
with
of
it
the
a little
shorts she's
longer.
wearing. Don't ask Savvy when the last time she
Even
clipped her
day
toenails
8.
was.
No,
Yeah.
I clipped those like a couple weeks ago. Why?
Yeah, and how long in
Sharpened them, you
between?
mean?
We're gonna
She
need
sharpened
proof.
Her talons.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Do it!
I'm begging
Do
you.
it!
They all thought you were going to show it.
Why did they look like that?
He looks so sad now.
Dan's eyes got so big. He's
Can you turn off her camera, Beardo?
Those are not good ones. They're not good ones. No, Phil, don't you congratulate that. Those are not good ones.
Yo, Kata, yo, man.
long.
You have long toesies.
Kata,
Nah,
you must be
man.
happy.
Oh.
Nah, man. Those they look like an extra. They look like an extra hand. You know, you ever seen them chimpanzees
Yeah,
with their feet
I
up?
use
That's
them like my
oh,
hand.
yeah.
I will grab things off my desk with them.
Bro, she
I
pulled
Savvy's
it
part
and it went
Neanderthal
like this.
confirmed.
It curled into
Wow.
a fucking fist.
You crap.
It threatened us.
She picks up rolls of quarters with her
You guys
toes.
can't articulate your
River
toes.
Miles with a 50.
Dan.
River
I'm like, man,
Miles with a
feet
50. Thank you, River Miles. Appreciate it.
This is what
Let's see here.
happens
We got
when
another
Dan's-
50.
This is what happens when Dan's girlfriend buys him a monkey. Okay, now we have this freaking savvy
Xanaximus with a $50. Speaking of the SNES games at 60 frames per second, most still had slowdown in sections, so it wasn't always a true lock 60 frames. With that said, I'd recommend getting Gradius 3 on the SNES with an SA1 patch to eliminate the slowdown. It's quite an experience.
It's freaking great.
Yeah, Gradius is amazing.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Legendary Golden Spork with the 10. Next month, Gorilla versus 100 Men will be an official game on releasing on Steam. I figured out everyone on the panel would be interested in playing the game when it releases.
You know what's sad?
I'll give it a shot.
What's sad is they missed the boat, man. Like nobody's talking about that anymore.
Right.
Man.
Like
Right.
if you're gonna go for a trend, you gotta strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah,
but now
day-
it's like
day
an old
one of
Yeah,
story.
the Yasuke simulator, they did it right.
Yeah, that was done well.
Thank you, Legendary Golden Sport, for the $10.
Well, but it was
well, yeah, marketing wise,
yeah,
timing.
Drunk Engineer with the 10. Dan's face mysteriously appeared on my Facebook feed this morning. Turns out my 70-year-old aunt shared a post about his AM Grace cover.
Amazing Grace.
Amazing Grace cover. Dan remains undefeated as the elderly white Christian woman whisperer.
I saw that super chat when it came and I laughed.
They think that's a joke. That really happens. Like I've seen it on Facebook. I've seen like one of my aunts like, oh my god, have you seen this Brazilian guy do heavy metal? This is actually I actually like heavy metal now. I'm like, oh, get the fuck out of here, bro. I can't
One of the
stand it.
nurses that comes to my house to help with my daughter was like, yeah, on the way here, I listen to YouTube. I don't do a lot with YouTube, but there's this one guy I listen to on YouTube. He does these music covers, and I straight up stopped her. I said, is his name Dan Bass? She goes, yeah, you know him? I'm like, yeah, I know Dan.
That's amazing.
I just walked away.
That's amazing, man.
Bro, it's
Wow.
And he's like Fabio with facial.
Well,
Of
I'm
course
rich, so
Keep your
it
grandmas
is
away
amazing
from
to
Dan
me.
Bass. Legendary Golden Spork with a 10. The Bloodborne Kart meme was partially made real due to Sony being Sony. It's called Nightmare Kart. The game is now available to play on Steam.
For real?
Somebody pull it up.
Nightmare
Kata, pull it up and share it.
It's
There's actually some interesting.
October.
The developer has me blocked because of I forgot what happened. She said something about something, and I kind of agree with he, her, she, they, it, and then they blocked me once they realized who I was. So I don't think I want to.
Don't you know who I am?
Well, there you go.
Okay,
Thank you, Golden Sport.
there are some good kart games coming out soon. Like the Sonic one looks really cool.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys seen that one.
Oh yeah, it was the Real Game Awards. It was because remember that one dev had his game on there, and then Craig put the Nightmare Kart on the Real Game Awards, and they were like, "Oh no, we don't really want our game to be presented on this award show or whatever." No, it was a Nightmare Kart one. They did it too. They did it too. Both
Two
of them
of
did it.
two or three of them, I think, were
Yeah, both of them
upset.
did it.
It's interesting because everybody tries to replicate the magic of Mario Kart, but it never
Yes.
it never gets
Double
pulled off.
dash.
Like, it's never caught on, and I just wonder why that is.
Well, it's the same thing with Call of Duty, too.
Yeah.
Like, everyone tries to compete with Call of Duty. This is the Call of Duty killer. You know, look at X Defiant or Titanfall or, you know, insert any first-person shooter. You know, it's not Call of Duty, so it's not going to catch on.
Do you guys know of any example of a clone of a certain style of game, like we say, like a Doom clone or a GTA clone? A clone of a certain game was more successful or better than the original.
An accidental success story is Fortnite. They were originally a PvE that was copying Left 4 Dead.
Yes, that's a great example.
Yeah, but it's not a one-to-one example.
Well, Fortnite tried to do Battle Royale to compete with PUBG, and now Fortnite is more successful than PUBG.
Yep.
So.
Well, and it's a little early to use this as a definite answer, but Expedition 33 seems to be doing a lot better than the Final Fantasy games of recent years.
Yep. Right. Yeah. What is that? What is the farm simulator game? That's a copy of Harvest Moon.
Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley.
But I think it's unique enough because when I personally get two different vibes from them. Like they're two different types of cozy farming.
It's like all Harvest Moons combined in one.
Yeah.
Do you remember when it was Farmville on Facebook?
Yes.
I do remember
Yep.
that.
Water my
Wow, bro.
crops, everyone.
They used to invite you. Used to get invites every day.
Invites.
Hey, can you come over to
Yeah.
my floor?
Oh,
Cafe
someone in the
World.
chat mentioned God of War. I don't know if that's what they mean, but the original God of War 2 on the PlayStation, the original God of War 1 on the PlayStation 2 was a clone of Devil May Cry.
Really?
Yeah, it was kind of a clone of Devil May Cry.
Okay.
I would say Call of Duty is a better Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, I was
is a
thinking
good
that because back in
Yeah.
the day, back on PlayStation 2, it was Medal of Honor and Call of Duty, and the Medal of Honor just died out.
Yeah. I
Yep.
Yeah, they killed Medal of Honor with that
Yeah,
last
man.
one.
With COD 4.
Which
It
one was the
Medal
one
of
that
Honor.
came? The last one that came out. It was around the same time that Battlefield 3 was coming out.
So
And then it just completely
COD
died out.
4 on 360 and PlayStation 3 killed Medal of Honor. The Medal of Honor came out with like a resurgence in, what was it, 2018, 2019? They came out with a new one. And that was short-lived as well.
Hey, pull up the meme. Look at private chat. Pull up the meme.
Son of a
Pull
bitch.
it up.
Yeah, I'm pulling it
If
up.
I have to be scarred, so does everyone else.
Oh no.
Hold on, I'm gonna proof.
Lord.
I'm gonna
This
proof.
scars
Fine.
you.
You don't
This
have
is
to
this,
proof
this
it. Just put it
motherfucker.
on
This is
screen.
the same one that you just shared.
What?
You
I didn't share it.
who did? Was it Krista?
It was
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Now I feel a little bit more confident about it.
Oh, do you?
Liking it online.
You
yes.
shouldn't.
Yes, I do. Oh fuck. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
come on, bring that
Gotta show
confidence
it.
back.
Is this
All right.
supposed to be me?
Yeah.
Doesn't look
Let's
anything
see it.
like me.
Let's
see it.
It's the twink
see it.
version of you.
This looks nothing like me.
It's the twink version.
He's not doing a very good job.
No,
It's
you're
like, yeah,
no.
it sounds like he's playing them like a flute.
Is that like a "Don't Tread on Me" hat too? Is he's just like
was that's
as he's
Jay's
just
hat.
deep
That's
throating
Jay's-
hot dogs?
That's Jay's Gatson flag hat.
Mm.
Oh man.
But yeah,
It's got to be you then, Beardo.
yeah, I do have that hat. I do own it. The Miki will inherit the earth with a $10. The hilarious fact: PCs are going to end and win the console wars. The Asus Xbox handheld runs Windows 11, thus can play Steam games, aka PlayStation games, and Xbox devices. PlayStation fanboys big mad right now. We should talk about that. Does anybody have a link? Is Kata still here, or Phil, Mike? Do you guys
I don't
have
know anything about that.
I might have put one in the chat. Let me see.
I
Do
need
you
to be
guys have an
educated.
active link for the new ROG Xbox handheld? We should talk about that.
Oh yeah.
Read
talked
some more
about
super
that,
chats. I'll get one
a couple
pulled up.
days ago.
Okay. Josh Krasinski with the $10 says, never pay the Dane Geld. Never pay the Dane Geld. Thank you for the $10. Lucas Garrett with a 10, as Leroy Gethro Gibbs once said, never apologize. It's a sign of weakness, because once you apologize to the mob, they have you, and it's a wrap. 100%.
Yep.
100
He's their
cares
bitch
there.
now.
Did you just say Gethro? Was
Yeah, he said Gethro. Leroy Jethro Gibbs.
That's
Yep.
wild.
Thank you for the 10.
Hey, I think Johnny's
Legendary
got a
Golden
bounce.
Spork with the 10. Who's got a bounce? Johnny?
Johnny,
All right, Johnny, you got a
Hi, Johnny.
bounce? Plug your
Peace
stuff,
out,
man.
y'all.
What do you got going on?
plug your stuff, Johnny, before you just
Don't just
run out
bound.
of here.
Just he is
I
like, yeah.
tried. I was hovering right
He was
over
about to.
it.
He's about to. He's just about to click off. You saw it?
All right, see you later.
He was
guys.
That's
about to
his
click
thing
off
now.
so quick.
You know what you're getting. Metroid and Zelda content if you subscribe to Zeltroid, which is fun. I can't wait. I'm breaking down the story. I know I said I was doing a while ago, but then I had a baby, so sue me. But I'm breaking down the story of Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. That'll be the next one to come out because I'm doing all 3 of the Prime games leading up to the release of Prime 4. So you will know
Hell yeah.
everything about the story leading up to the release of Prime 4. So be expecting that one.
What about basketball?
Basketball, nobody cares here.
Yeah, they do. It's the NBA Finals. Just plug it anyways.
Okay, I'll be talking about the NBA Finals after the next Finals game, the one that nobody's watching because the ratings are down. So you'll get that. Let me
Who's in
see
the
what
finals?
else.
On what channel? What channel? What's it called?
It's called Johnny Arnett. It's my name. Damn it.
Let's
Peace.
go. Why is he so angry? I was giving him an opportunity, man. Legendary
hungry.
Golden Spork with a 10. All I have to say about Sydney Sweeney's bathwater is this: never go full Belle Delphine and never go full Gwyneth Paltrow. Power through, Beardo. Power through. We're trying, man. We're trying. Or Amaranth. She has her, vagina yeast beer.
It's all
Which is
gross.
What?
You didn't know about this, Kata?
Dude,
No.
disgusting.
You sure? I thought
didn't
you
know.
would have known about it out of everyone.
Amaranth.
disgusting.
Amaranth has a vagina yeast beer.
It gave
Oh,
people
dude.
herpes.
Vagina.
Oh, I almost said something that would have got us demonetized. My bad. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. We gotta start.
Mike,
holding
Mike,
these
you have you have it here. Okay, so this was released yesterday?
Yesterday. Yep.
Yesterday.
Nintendo...
So the Xbox had their whatever showcase. They debuted some stinkers. They released or they announced Call of Duty Black Ops 7, and they also announced this. So go ahead and Mike, take it away.
Yeah, so Nintendo has announced. We know this has been in the works for a while, or not Nintendo. Wow, Microsoft. We know this has been in the works for a while. That they've been trying to get a console for. There's been a lot of talks, a lot of rumors for a while, but yeah, they finally released it. They're calling it because Microsoft continues with the worst names ever. The ROG Xbox Ally.
Oh, that's
why.
So yeah, this will let gamers access their Game Pass subscription library on the go. In effect, meaning members will start off with hundreds of games. So yeah, they partnered with Asus. They made this console. The weird thing about it is they announced it 3 days after the launch of the Switch 2. They don't have a launch date for when the console is going to be coming out. There's also 2 separate consoles coming out. Let me see if I can find where the names are. Yeah, the ROG Xbox Ally and the ROG Xbox Ally X.
Right, in the same veins of the Series S and the Series X.
It's still fucking terrible. The 2 versions both share a 7-inch screen with 1080p resolution. That's pretty standard. Base version comes with 16 gigabytes of memory, 512 gigabytes of storage. The X version has 24 gigabytes of memory and then double the storage. And then the X has a bigger battery life and a more powerful processor. That's all fine. You know, you can get your games, library, on the go. Xbox on the go has been a thing for a while. Now you can port it here. The big thing, and this is what Jed was talking about, is that it actually runs a version of Windows, and because of that, you can access things like Steam on here. Yep. And what was the other one? EA Access.
GOG.
Yeah, you can access them all. You can do that on Steam Deck as well. There's a Linux OS on there, but with just an OS on there, you have so many possibilities of crazy things to do. It's a lot of freedom with something like this, putting an OS on it.
Very surprising.
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is you're gonna have access to all the Xbox games. They're on Game Pass. You can play them right there. I mean, a lot of people are on Game Pass now because we're not paying $80 for Outer Worlds 2 when you could pay $15 for a month of play and decide that the game sucks and then stop. They also announced, obviously, Black Ops 7. It'll be interesting. What I'm really curious about is if they're going to affect how games are being developed now, or if they're going to use like more of a cloud-based service to run these games. I don't know exactly how that's going to work.
So that's a great question, real quick, because the PlayStation 5 handheld had to be connected to your PlayStation network, and it was only streaming. It was cloud-based, and it only streamed. Like, you couldn't actually download physical files onto your PlayStation 5 handheld. So is there any information on how this is going to work for Xbox?
There is not right now. I'll keep looking and see if I can find anything.
But with that much memory and storage capability, we can assume that it's probably going to be local, a lot like the Steam Deck.
Yeah, or at least let you download a couple of games that you can play, and then you go offline with it for a while. But yeah, that was the one thing. You can have full freedom with the versatility of PC gaming, which is what everybody's pushing for. Steam, EA Play, all that stuff. And so that's kind of the big thing. And then it's heavy. It's a heavier console, but I don't really give a shit about that. I don't think that's that important. But the one thing though that's interesting is they have not revealed how much the price is, which I think is on purpose because we know with the Switch it was like what, $500. I think
it was $450 for base and $500 for the bundle.
Yeah. So my guess is that this thing is going to be probably in the $600-$700 range.
The rumor was $800.
The rumors.
That's what chat's saying.
There are rumors for $800 to $1,000, but I haven't seen anything directly from Microsoft for.
So is this going to be direct comparison to Steam Deck? Is this going to be the new Steam Deck?
I was going to ask that. What are the main differences between this and the Steam Deck?
Well, I think the ease of access probably to the Xbox library, pretty much.
Yeah, I think that's really what it comes down to. Yeah.
Go for it,
Jed. And everything else.
So yeah, that's going to be a big difference, but also the difference between Linux and Windows as an operating system.
Yes.
With the Steam Deck, I think that's one of the main problems with it. I'm able to figure out Linux and use Linux well because I'm in the IT industry, but a lot of people aren't familiar with Linux. It is not a common OS for everyday people. Windows is. So for people who want the OS feature, this would be the superior one. And the reason why the Steam Deck is so great for me, and this would transfer over to this as well, is you can mod games on it because of the OS feature.
Bingo.
And modding in Windows is easier for a lot of people because with Linux on the Steam Deck, they have to create fake Windows file trees for each game, and so figuring out how to mod those can be a lot more complicated because it builds a fake Windows inside of your Linux, which is just complicated as hell. This would streamline the situation, being just straight Windows for those modders out there like myself.
And that's my question for you guys: how appealing and attractive is this going to be for the modding community?
I think a lot of people, like, if you don't really already have a Steam Deck, because most people who have one, they've already worked out how to get the mods on there. But if you don't have one, I would see people wanting to get this just because of the easy access of Windows.
Yeah. No, I can definitely see it for new people who aren't set. And I think the best thing about this will also improve Steam Deck. Competition, I think, is a great thing in every industry. So now that there's a piece of competition for the Steam Deck, that'll make them try to be better for their new console. So competition, even if this turns out to be a relative dud and kind of a publicity stunt or anything like that, that'll make the Steam Deck better in the long run, I think. So I'm all for this, no matter how it turns out. It's a little early to say whether or not this will be a good console or not, but I'm excited for what comes out of it.
Can you Can you connect this to a big TV?
Most likely, you can do that on the Steam Deck. So I imagine they do it here, but I don't know for sure.
So is that just like screen sharing virtually, or is there going to be like a HDMI plug-in for it, like a cable access to it?
Yeah.
I actually don't know.
That's
Who knows? Steam Deck does both. It does both screen sharing and cable. So and people saying there is competition already for this the Steam Deck, but more competition, the more incentive to improve is all I meant by that.
Jay's in the chat.
And if you remember,
shout out Jay.
It was over a year ago. Remember, there was that Xbox data leak.
I don't know how true this is, by the way. I just want real quick when I answer your question, Beardo. According to this, it can be docked using the Asus ROG 65 watt charger dock, which supports HDMI 2 and then 1080p at 120 hertz.
Yeah, but at how much? Well, that's not good. You're going to buy that separately. So, what price point is that dock going to be?
Yeah,
and
I'm
also
actually not sure, but yeah, but you can dock it and connect it to stuff. So
okay. Because you have the Steam Deck, you have the Asus ROG handheld as well, which is already a competitor to the Steam Deck, and now you have this.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yep.
But going back to what I was saying, remember, I think it was last year we talked about on Main Event, there was a Microsoft Xbox data leak where hackers got in and they kind of like exposed all of Xbox's future plans for, I think it was like 10 to 12 years, and handheld Xbox was mentioned in that leak.
Yep, absolutely.
So, and here it is.
Yep.
Yeah, there it is. So, yeah, man, I mean, we'll see how it all goes. I think Microsoft's a little late to the game here with this, but it's also possible that they've been waiting on this because they wanted just the right fit for what they were wanting to do. It could be one of those things where they're trying to compete directly with the Switch because the Steam Deck's been out for a while, and we know we're not going to just randomly get another Steam Deck just because there's competition. They're going to release a Steam Deck when they're ready to release one that they feel like really ups the game in the handheld console, situation. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. I don't know though. I'm going to be honest. I don't really trust Microsoft that much.
That is an excellent point.
Yeah, I think Game Pass is I always have said this. I think Game Pass is their end goal. That's what they want more than anything, is they want that to be the one-stop shop for gaming. They want it to directly compete with Steam, and they're going to do everything they can to funnel people into Game Pass because that's more important to them right now than anything else. And I think that's why they're pushing so hard for gaming anywhere and all this stuff, because then it's like, oh, you have a PC at home, cool, it has Windows on it, you have Game Pass, oh, now you have the Ally and you can take that wherever you want to, and you have an Xbox too, cool, so now you can game wherever you go, and Microsoft is always in your face, and Microsoft is always in your hand, and then it's everywhere, and I think that's their ultimate goal. And I don't know how I feel about that because I don't want to keep saying Microsoft gobble up IPs just to funnel it to Game Pass, you know?
So I got a question for you guys. We've mentioned it for the past several months or years on this show about what's Microsoft's endgame as far as being in the console war, competing with PC and PlayStation, keep Nintendo out of it. What is the end game? How many years down the line do we see Microsoft get out of the console war where they're just a software company where it's just Game Pass? And when do they get out of, does Xbox die? When do you think they stop making the Xbox and Game Pass is just going to be this handheld thing or just a PC application where you can play games at a monthly subscription? Kata?
It wouldn't be that. If you ask me, to be honest, I don't see them staying in the console war that much longer because not a lot of people are buying Xboxes. And as you said, you see them pushing very heavy for Game Pass, and that does seem like the end goal where they just want to be a publisher more than a developer of hardware. So I would say pretty soon. I don't think the next console generation there might even be an Xbox, to be honest. I don't think there will be. And so if there is, it'll probably be the last one.
PlayStation 6, there's going to be no Xbox competitor. I think it lasts one more generation.
Yeah, if there is another Xbox, that is the last one for sure.
That's what I'm thinking, too.
I don't see them going further than that.
Mike, Phil, Dan, or Savvy, I guess.
I only research this stuff daily, so but no, it's there are a handful of people that are trying to push them into the cloud subscription thing because that's their big money maker. I don't know if anyone's ever looked at the financial structure and where all of the money actually comes from for Microsoft, but it's all in their data centers, centers, and their cloud-based stuff. So the sooner that they stop having to produce a physical console, the more money they will actually make. They lose money in a sense when you frame it like that by continuing to participate in having a physical console or any sort of physical anything. Not to mention they want to be able to control your data and have more access to it. And the way that they do that is get you to, buy their stuff, continue to input your data, blah, blah, blah. They want to monitor you and all of that good stuff. So.
Yeah, I agree with Savvy. I think they're just on doing this cloud gaming thing, and it's been working well for them for the past several years now. And it's just like Google Stadia came out a little bit too early. I think now that their controllers are really fucking good, they're basically going to take over like Google Stadia's like sort of I guess you would say ecosystem, and they're going to be the next go-to platform for cloud gaming. I think that's the way it's going to be in the future.
Yeah, I 100% agree with Phil. I think that is 100% what they want to do. I think that in the long run, the console war thing is a waste of time for them when they can be like Samsung, where Apple has to go to Samsung for their chipset. Everybody has to go to Microsoft to get stuff, and now Microsoft is going to have their software on PlayStations as well. Oh, cool. You want to play some of our old games? Go play it on PlayStation. It's fine. That's cool. Yeah. In fact, maybe you can go get Game Pass on PlayStation as well. You can have access to all of our library of games on PlayStation now.
Bingo.
It makes sense. And then they get what they've always wanted because they already played their hand with the Xbox One. They get a little tiny box that goes in your house that does everything that you could possibly want for entertainment. It connects to your PC. It connects to your TV. It has all the software on it that you want to watch things and watch streaming. And you can play your Xbox games whenever you want. Just fire them right up.
It doesn't even need to be a little box or a dongle or something that you plug into your TV or whatever, because every single TV now is a smart TV, and if you don't have a smart TV, you're living in the fucking dark ages.
It's gonna be an app.
Oh, you think that they're still gonna sell a physical box? No. They're on record, literally saying
it'll be an application.
The way that they get the most customers, everybody in the world, pretty much a good chunk of it now has a cell phone. They want to be able to have the cell phone connect to their cloud service. That way you can play the game wherever you are.
Well, I can do that right now.
Yeah,
you just grab my Xbox. Yeah, I could play some select titles right now.
Yeah.
I could just pull up my phone and just play right on the Xbox app. Play anywhere. Yeah.
We've all said it, and I think we all agree that Game Pass isn't profitable right now because Microsoft is putting out, the cost of production with putting out the Xbox console. Where if they just stop the console war, they stop the console development, they just go solely on just Game Pass. You put Game Pass, obviously it's already on PC, but you put Game Pass on Nintendo, you put it on PlayStation, and they stop the cost of production on actually producing consoles, and just the software is on everything. I think that's the end game for Xbox and Microsoft.
Yeah, Microsoft, if they could delete their entire Xbox department, they will be rolling in so much money. They will be an unstoppable monopoly. That's why the government's like looking into things and like why they're trying to stop them from just buying up everything, because that just like Tencent is the end game. They want to buy up other people's work and then stick it onto a digital cloud.
Yep. It's wild shit, man.
Yeah.
Well, I actually agree with you. I actually agree that this is absolutely the way of the future. Their software is going to be what does it better for them. Microsoft in general is fairly successful overall. We can all agree on that with Windows and everything from a step back. So they have the money to play and experiment with new things. I think they'll always stay in the console game, but in a niche capacity, offering other things with it. I could foreseeably see in the next few years a custom-built PC with an Xbox logo on it that's optimized for PC gaming. So it's still fully operates as a PC. You get your keyboard, your mouse, and everything, but it has different features that make it easy to get a game on it. But that's not going to compete with the big consoles. Just kind of a niche thing to keep them in the name, but focusing on the software as their big money maker.
I think that's too close to releasing a console.
Yeah,
because at that point,
it's different enough that it's a computer. Focusing on it being just a custom built computer.
They don't want to do that.
That's just a more expensive Xbox.
Physical hardware
at
is
that
too
point.
expensive for them.
That's just a more expensive Xbox.
It is Microsoft. They do want to get back into selling more PCs. So having this as a gimmick.
No. So they don't have an issue selling PCs. They know that their hardware market is fine.
Connecting them. I'm saying merging those departments.
But it already is.
No, they want to downgrade.
Even more so.
On any Windows run PC, you can get Game Pass on it.
It comes pre-installed.
Yeah, so I at that point, it's just a more expensive Xbox that they would have to, do the price to make.
I still see them trying a gimmick like that. I didn't say it'd be successful, but trying a gimmick that is meant to sell a few thousand.
No, they're not going to try to sell. They're not. So nobody cares about niche markets. When you get to the size of Microsoft, and this is what Nintendo is doing, they are trying to expand it to as many people as possible. They no longer care about the niche customer. If they did, Call of Duty would still be good. But they don't. They don't care. They are trying to expand. So they want to move as many people and they want to poach as many smart programmers as possible to optimize their cloud.
But
because
you guys don't think that Microsoft, if they could, would sell a gaming-oriented PC
that is not their end game.
optimized for PC gamers? That's what
what you're saying, Jed, I agree with you. And I think that's what they're doing right now with the handheld. I think the future of Microsoft
going
and Xbox,
in that direction.
It's going in the direction of just doing Game Pass and then this handheld portable console that they're doing. And it all depends on the success of this new Xbox Asus, ROG integration with their handheld. I think that's the future of it. What you're talking about isn't going to be an at-home PC. It'll be the mobile device with Game Pass on everything. PlayStation, PC, Nintendo.
No, that's definitely the goal, but
I think that's what it is.
I think a gaming PC is in the cards, though, because Microsoft wants to expand to more gaming PCs, and slapping the name Xbox on already PCs that they're already making is something that they might conceivably do. I don't know if it'd be successful. I'm just saying it basically a rebrand, making the same gaming PCs that they do, but say, hey, we're optimizing it a little bit for a controller or something like that. It's not going to add money for them. It's not going to add charges or expenses for them to say, hey, we make PCs. Let's make a dedicated PC rig that's really good for gaming. Try to make it for high-end market sellers.
If that's what
very interesting, Jed, because
it's in the PC realm.
Go for it.
It's still merging to PC.
Yeah, go for it.
If that's true, that would be very interesting because it will be closing the circle all over again. Because we started at the 70s and 80s with pre-made computers, the Commodore 64, the famously Atari computers, the ST1. We had pre pre-made computers, and then came IBM with the IBM compatibles and created all the customizable format that we have today. And now we're closing the circle and going back to pre-made computers. That's very cool.
I think
that's
their
what I
actual
see.
end game would be a phone or a tablet. They're again, because more people are going to buy that. They don't care about the niche. They're not gonna.
It'll be the handheld that they have right now, and it
Yeah.
all depends on the
That's like
success
their
of that.
type, but-
Going
The
back to
software
what
would be
Jed
their
said.
focus.
Going back to what Jed said, if there's a future in what that is, if Microsoft is going to slap an Xbox label on a PC, Steam can handle any single controller at this point. I mean, I remember it was just 5 years ago, Steam can barely handle a PlayStation controller. Like, you had to have an Xbox controller if you wanted to play controller on PC games on Steam. Now you can plug in any controller and just plug and play. What you're saying is, if there's any future in a Xbox branded computer, it'll just be, hey, we're throwing in an Xbox controller for $40 or $50 extra cost on this Xbox PC. Like,
essentially,
that'd
like
be it.
they're already making PC, so making a PC directed at PC gamers with the logo on it, it's a bad idea. I'm not disagreeing with that. I just think that might be a way to say, hey, we're still in the console war, but software is where we're focusing. It would be a gimmick. That's all it would be, is a gimmick.
Yeah. Any final thoughts?
I don't see that happening though. I don't. I think they want to do cloud stuff. They want to do software stuff. They want to publish the games out. I truly believe that they want to get out of making consoles. Especially, they've been losing for 2 generations, and if
they'd
go
actually
to the
start
next one,
making
they'll
money.
definitely lose. Yeah.
They
want the money from all the games and the software stuff.
If they got out of the console war and just put their software, put the Game Pass application on every other console, then they'll actually start being profitable.
Yep.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Deborah Perkins with a $10 says, "Hi everyone. Today is my birthday. Happy birthday,
Happy birthday.
Deborah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday." Says, and I'm spending it with you all because I fractured my foot at the Dallas Fan Con. Much love over to each of you. Thank you, Deborah Perkins, and happy birthday, Deborah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Hey, I actually
Sorry
gotta
about your
go.
foot. That's awful.
Kata!
I gotta go handle some things. So
Are you going to be back or are you gone for the night?
Gross.
He's
no, I
gotta
gotta go.
rank
I
feet.
gotta go.
You're going.
He's getting back shots.
He's taking,
All right.
he's taking a picture of feet.
Gross.
I'm getting back. All right. this is
Giving back
ridiculous.
shots. Why do you gotta
This is
get gay
ridiculous.
about it, Kata?
What is back
Objection, bro.
shots?
It's
Yeah,
That's
gay.
but
what happens when a
We'll
man
try-
Okay,
No.
shut the fuck
Bye,
up, Kata.
Kata.
We'll tell
Kata,
you
what do you
when
got
you're
going
adult,
on? Tell them
I
what
wanna
you're
learn.
tell them what you're up to, Kata.
Yeah, I'm not up to anything. Just go to my channel. Videos drop periodically, whatever's going on in the news that I'm interested in. We do stream on Wednesdays, so tomorrow make sure you come hang out on that. And then new Black Street that we do on Fridays and Mondays. Don't miss that as well.
Yeah.
I got I
Cool.
gotta get out of here. Gotta go ahead. Y'all be
All right.
easy. Be safe.
Bye.
See y'all
Take
on
it
the
easy,
next
bye.
one.
Later, Kata.
Take care, man.
Have a good one, man. Cool. All right. We'll get a few super chats. And there's one other thing I want to talk about because there was something during the Xbox showcase that dropped that is pretty controversial between Xbox and Nintendo. So I do want to get your guys' opinion on that. And then we'll just power through with some super chats. But Panda Simone recommitted. Thank you, Panda Simone, for the commitment over here. Methylis with a $5. If I'm being honest, Beardo is better than Jeremy, but also Mike is better than everyone. BVS is a great movie.
Shout
I love
out, bro.
Batman v Superman's great.
What
He
the
had me
fuck,
for the
man?
first half.
Yeah.
No.
Jason
He's right.
JJJ
He's
with a
spitting facts.
5 months says, "Hail Tuesday night's main event. Hail chat and savvy Narf."
No, you can't say it like that.
No.
Well, I just did.
You're-
Noble Spitfire with a $5. Dan better not be too funny tonight, or else the government will jail him like they did to that one Brazilian comedian.
Yeah, man. 8
Oh, man.
years. 8 years in prison.
That's crazy, man.
That's a long time.
Was he Brazilian?
Jokes.
Was he
Brazilian
what-
comedian.
So he was like born Brazilian native?
Yeah, here in Brazil, he's a well-known stand-up comedian. Did some jokes that were considered offensive, and 8 years. 8 years.
That's
in prison.
crazy, man.
That's wild.
That's crazy. Blow it all up.
Yeah, protect your First Amendment.
D. Nelson with 1 month. What's up, boys? Tell Beardo I need to catch a stream of his, but these LA riots are too crazy not to watch. Thank you, D. Nelson. I'll be playing Pokemon later tonight after the show. Jay's Rooftop Korean with a $1 says nothing. Thank you.
That's crazy.
For the dollar. X-Wing is a stupid name with a 199 says for X-Wing, the Wet Noodle 5.
Damn.
Thank you for the 199. R.I.P. R.I.P. to X-Wing. If you guys didn't know about X-Wing, he
died?
He's got it. He's got it. He only has a few days left.
He caught the gay?
Monkeypox?
He caught it. I'm not allowed to say, but he caught it.
The gay.
He caught it. That's why he's not here.
What did he catch? Did he catch
stuff.
Celebi and he's going back in time?
He got it.
The way you're
He
saying
got
it
it.
sounds like tuberculosis.
Yeah, he got it, man. He got it.
Just to be
So
clear,
R.I.P.
he's
Chad.
a-
If we can get an R.I.P. to X-Wing, he's got it, man. He's got it bad. So it is what it is.
Goodness.
Vault 95 with a 199. I expected Tuesday night's main event Riot stream. That's over on D-Day Cobra right now because he's live streaming over his own damn channel. Thank you for the 199.
Fucking asshole.
Fired Up Gaming with a 5 month. Sad day. I am here for sanity. Clown World. Sorry to hear that, Fired Up Gaming, but hopefully we could have provided some entertainment for you.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you for the 5 months.
Hope you feel our strength within you. We are all inside you right now.
Whoa,
We are all inside you. We're in you. We're in you right now.
I'm in no one. Yeah.
Fired
I'm
Up
small.
Gaming.
I'm barely
we
in
are
there.
all collectively in
all
you
of
right
us.
now.
That's very gay. I don't
Like
want to be
magic
beside
school
another
bus
man.
down.
I don't want
Just
to.
magic
Magic
school
school
man.
bus.
You can't make me.
Just trying to be supportive.
Death Doom with the $5. Beardo, what wrestler has the nickname Sexual Chocolate? That would be what's his name? Ron Killings. Thank you for the $5.
Oh no.
I'm just a subscriber with a $5. I fell asleep last night listening to Jeremy in a 9-hour Cobra cast. Does that make me gay? Yes. Hail the 199. Thank you for the $5. SBZ with the 24 months, 2 years with the 199, and I see Geeks and Gamers have more representations than Disney. Maybe the rumor Kathleen Kennedy bought Geeks and Gamers is true.
Yeah. Only one
Mike.
white man on this stream right now. That's pretty diverse.
No,
Shit,
but he is gay.
you're not wrong.
Yeah.
It's true.
You're not
so-
wrong.
Yeah.
Warbreer with a 199 says, I believe Beardo. Thank you. If you're smart, you do. Vault 95 with a 199 says, panel, what are the 2 best Pokemon Switch games? Ooh. One of the best 2 Pokemon Switch games?
I'm not big with Pokemon, so.
Yeah, how do
I
you
mean,
play
almost
that?
all
Okay.
Pokemon
I
games
love
are
Legends.
available on the Switch.
No, like Switch, like made for the
Made
Switch.
for the Switch.
I have
Well,
your
how many
answer
were
for
made
you.
for the Switch?
Quite a few, actually. I have your answer
Yep.
for you. Pokemon Legends Arceus at this point.
Yeah.
Pokemon Legends Arceus and Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl are the best 2 Pokemon Switch games, in my opinion.
Yeah, Legends Arceus.
Legends Arceus,
Legends
well,
is
best
It
2.
was the most innovative that we've gotten.
Yeah. Legends Arceus
I don't
and Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl.
I like retro games.
Donna Hall with a 5 says, nursing reminder. You don't have to be diabetic to go into a sugar-induced coma. Just saying.
Holy shit.
Mike, if
Yeah,
you want to
Donna's been
archive
trying
this
to get me
one.
to not eat a cake on
You hear that,
stream.
Mike?
Sugar-induced coma?
You really can't stop that, Donna. It's gonna happen.
Is that a thing?
Thank you, Donna, for the
I don't know,
5.
probably, maybe.
Darth Bane with a 2 says, I believe in Beardo Hendry. Thank you for the 2. Liz B.C. with a 2 says, Beardo eats hot dogs like corn the long way. Thank you for the $2. Zero with a 5. Ever since meat came out, Open Mike Night has taken a whole new meaning. Congrats on the cake stream egg roll. Achievement unlocked. Diabetes.
Open mic night.
Oh, that's wild, bro.
Dan, how do you not understand English and you understand that joke?
We're working on his English.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's like the night where you open mic.
Dan, do you know what Open Mike Night
Open
is?
Night?
Dan?
It's like karaoke thing, right?
Well, yes, yeah. Jay's Rooftop Korean with the $2. I'm ready, Jeremy. Give me the signal. Over on Covercast. Over on Covercast.
Oh my.
Jake Skywalker with the 199. Did you hear about the Xbox handheld? Beardo Fat. We just went over it. We just talked about it. You were ahead of the game. Thank you for the 199. Mike's 8-inch cake with a 2 says, hi, Beardo.
So,
Is that what you're gonna eat?
shout out.
That's a
Big ol'
donut.
ladies.
That was a
donut.
donut.
That's a
donut.
That was a
Our
chocolate
donut
bar donut.
cakes.
It's a
Doesn't
cream-filled
count.
donut.
Oh, Austin
The
creams are
long
the best
cake.
donuts. They are.
Yeah.
Imperial Fist Stan with the 2. Dan, do you tickle people without their consent?
I refuse to answer.
No comment. Thank you. X-Wing is the stupid name with a 5. Dan, I'll stop spanking my monkey when your monkey stops committing larceny.
What's a larceny?
Jed?
That's not pornographic, is it?
I just...
Ask Dan. I mean, as Mike, he's the one who would know.
Mike, what's larceny? Well, no, I mean, you guys are both black.
Yeah, that's theft.
Yeah, wait
You
a
guys
minute.
are, you guys are both black.
Now.
Ask Mike.
Judge, you're black now.
It's a
Jed's
very.
right.
It's
That's why I
only
asked him.
recent. I haven't gone through orientation yet.
You just gotta figure it out. What
The
does your
chat's
heart
saying
tell
it's
you?
theft.
Mike's only half
Yeah,
black.
that's
Jed, you are full
crime.
nitrous.
Okay.
Crime and theft.
Yes, it's just theft.
Beardo's War Against Tweeners with the $5.
Oh my
Beardo,
God.
Censored.
what
Oh
is
my
that?
God.
What is that?
It's okay. They censored it this time.
That's amazing.
That's me drinking my San Pellegrino.
That's
Beardo
crazy,
hates
bro.
tweener and will not rest until all tweeners are destroyed. FYI, tweener is slang for vagina. Thank you for
Is
the
it
five.
though? Sounds like
No,
the
it's not.
opposite.
No, it's not.
Tweener is slang for in between.
Oh,
Wiener.
this is actually interesting. Wait, a tweener is a tennis shot where the player hits the ball between his legs.
That wasn't
So-
interesting.
A tweener is
Paul?
something that's in between. Most often than not, a tweener is described as like a girlfriend or a girl that you're sleeping with in between one girlfriend to another. It's like a hookup is a
Is this
tweener.
some e-thought hoe life?
What?
I
Ain't
never
nobody
heard of
ever said
it.
that.
Well, you're too innocent, Krista. I'm not surprised you never heard
I
of it.
thought tweener was penis.
Teresa
I
Young
mean,
with the
whatever.
26 months. All of the panel makes Tuesday Night's Main Event enjoyable to watch. Thanks for all the laughs. Thank you, Teresa Young.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think she sent that last week
Very
when Savvy
kind.
wasn't here. The Miki will inherit the earth with a 199. Couldn't Dan just walk outside and get a monkey?
No, it's a crime.
Damn.
Me.
What was that?
Is that
I had
yours?
really bad weather. I put in the private.
Holy shit.
That was a
That was
Thunder
great
that was
timing.
thunder?
Oh, man.
Thank
I
you.
think Krista farted.
Rolando A.
That
Ramirez
was
with
thunderous.
an 8 months. Looks like Dan proceeded to beat his girlfriend for the joke.
Thanks.
No
A
comment.
tweener is
Just-
also a player
just
who has
laughs.
some, but not all the necessary characteristics for each or two or more positions.
The Miki will inherit the earth with the $5. Mike is bragging that he kept a coin that commemorates his failure to get a super switch.
What?
That is sad.
I mean,
Thank you
there
for
was
the
no
5.
super
A
switch to get,
tweener
or
is
else I would have got it.
also a computing device that is
Nah, you've
smaller than a
activated
traditional
her
laptop, but larger
autism.
than a PDA.
Okay.
We
Now
don't
you've
need the
activated her
dictionary.
autism.
We get it.
Now
We
He's
it's
get it.
claiming
over.
that
Get
it
it.
means something, but it doesn't. I can't find
It
any
does.
evidence of
It's
this.
short for
It does.
in between.
It's
There.
short for
yes.
in between, which is what I've been saying.
It's
Mike
not.
Noss with a 2 says thoughts on Resident Evil Requiem.
I'm excited.
I have a lot of thoughts about Resident Evil Requiem. I am excited. I am excited. We're going back to Raccoon City. There's rumors about Leon, Jill, Claire. We'll see. But I'm excited for any Resident Evil game.
Post-nuclear.
Post-nuclear
Raccoon City.
Fallout
Raccoon City is
Raccoon
the
City. Yep.
That's crazy. How do you get zombies back after that?
Well, they're going to be radioactive zombies.
They're super zombies
Holy
now.
shit.
Super radioactive zombies. We'll see. But I am excited for Resident Evil 9 Requiem.
And if you get bitten
girls
by a
have to.
radioactive zombie, you get the you
Mm-hmm.
turn into the super radioactive zombie man.
Also, shameless plug, tomorrow on Bro Science, we're going to have Drew Hernandez on the show, and we're going to be talking all about Resident Evil 9 tomorrow on Bro Science. So, it'll be a good show. Thank you, Mike Noss, for the $2. Jose Taco with the 199 says, did any of you get the GameCube controller? I did not.
Is that
I've
out
heard a
already?
lot of issues. I've heard a lot of complaints about playing GameCube games on the Switch with
Really?
the GameCube Switch controller. A lot of
Really?
complaints. Yeah.
Because there are adapters, USB adapters for you to plug a GameCube controller on a real GameCube controller on your PC. I wonder if those work with the Switch too.
I
That'll
have
be
one.
interesting.
Yeah. I have an
Might be worth
adapter
giving that a shot.
with plenty of GameCube controllers. That's a good question. Thank you, Jose Taco, for the 199. Mike's 8-inch cake with the $5. Different account, same name. I appreciate you, Phil.
God damn.
I don't appreciate Phil
What
at all.
is that's crazy.
No.
bro.
Let's
Oh
stop
my
that
God.
nonsense.
Phil
right now.
my Kraken recommitted. Thank you for the commitment, Phil, my Kraken. River Miles with the 5. Beardo should have said, "It's ma'am!" and knocked down the entire wall of Funkos for the memes. Thank you for the 5.
I'm just kidding. I like you, Phil.
Black Kane with the $2 says, Beardo should IRL stream in front of the Bellagio. So you want me to die? You want me to die? Thank you, Black Kane, for the $2.
Wow.
I don't know why would that lead to death.
Someone was shot.
Have you been living underground?
Yeah.
There
I'm in a
was
basement right now.
there was
Yeah.
internet beef between 2 YouTubers
Oh, is that
in
what
Vegas.
that is?
Yeah.
I didn't know
Motherfucker,
where it
yes.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in Vegas.
It was in
I don't hear
Vegas.
about this.
South
I
Las
didn't pay
Vegas
attention.
Boulevard.
So a man and his wife were in Vegas on vacation. He had beef with another YouTuber. The other YouTuber knew that they were going to Vegas, went there, shot him and his wife dead on the Las Vegas Strip.
What was the
Yikes.
beef about?
No clue. I'm not familiar with either of them. But
Holy
yeah.
shit.
Yep, it happened. You can find it on Twitter, easy. The actual footage, because he was live streaming. The
He
guy was live.
streamed it.
The guy was live streaming. The victim was live
the victim
streaming.
was a live stream.
The victim
The
was
same thing
live
happened
streaming.
with
That's
a
awful.
woman who was killed by her cartel
Fuck.
boyfriend or something.
I don't want to see
What
that.
happened?
There was another streamer, a woman, a
Oh.
model. She got assassinated.
Mm,
Yeah, that was the Mexican one, right?
Yeah, the cartel boyfriend.
Mm.
mm, yeah.
There's a lot of evil people out there.
Yep. Yep. Built like Beardo with a 199 says, we all know why Beardo has muscular arms.
That image.
Yeah, it's because I
That French.
because I
a
trained
masturbation
and I hit the
joke?
gym.
Yes, it's a Quagmire joke.
Wow.
SBZ with the 2 says, friendly reminder, Beardo has a small antenna. Thank you, Krista, for that.
Yes,
Nice.
that's what Krista said.
Thank you for the 2.
What's the reception like?
Those new
It's-
digital antennas are pretty small.
He's still in 3G, I believe.
It goes in and out.
3G.
Really old movies with an 8 months. Hail from Crazy Cali. The news is lying. Glad Jeremy has been covering the issue. We'll see what happens in the California election in 2026. Also, Beardo's gay. Here's the thing. I lived in California for both times Newsom got recalled in a recall election. And both times he got recalled, he won in a landslide. And this was also post-COVID where there were mail-in ballots. So
right.
So
do
here's
with
the
that
thing
information what you will.
with what's it called again? He's not, he can't rerun again because he's done. Rob Bonta is the next guy. He used to be what's it called, the AG here, and he's extremely like anti-gun. So do not vote for that guy. If you guys
What
wanna
about John
vote for-
Cox? Is John Cox running?
No, you had to
His
vote
name
for
is John
Cox.
Cox.
That's his last
Finish
name?
his sentence.
I don't
Wait,
know who
what?
that is.
He's trying
I
to
don't know who
finish
John
his
Cox
thing. He's
is.
talking about don't vote for this guy. He's anti-gun.
Well, I was asking a
Sorry.
question.
We're
No,
like,
I
what about
just
the
remembered.
Cox guy.
No, shut. That's his name, motherfucker. Shut the
What about
fuck
the
up.
guy with the penises?
No, Phil knows because Phil lives in California. During the last recall, it was Newsom against John Cox.
Beardo, I know
no.
why you know the word tweener now. A tweener is
No,
a
you don't.
bisexual person.
No, okay, so no, you don't.
No, that is
Okay,
a social
no, you don't.
definition. That is
No,
the
you
most
don't.
popular social definition.
Okay,
Beardo,
so
that's
you're
gay.
okay. So Savvy, you're retarded. Shut the fuck up. The men are speaking.
A
Okay.
tweener is also a dollar sack of marijuana.
Okay. All right.
Well, we don't need the
Phil?
dictionary read out.
Phil,
So,
go ahead and finish.
So John Cox,
Holy
I
shit.
didn't. I wasn't gonna vote for him. I was gonna vote for Larry Elder, and like if he won, he would have been the first black governor in California. But they didn't vote for him because he's.
I like Larry Elder as well.
He would have been the white face of
His
black.
nickname was
black face of
wild,
white
yeah.
supremacy.
Yeah.
But the next one will be the guy. His name is Chad, and he's actually the Riverside chief police. So he's actually running for governor.
Chad.
Okay.
Yeah, his name is actually Chad.
Imagine if he
so-
was called Chad Cox.
Yeah.
Then you
Chad
should
versus
vote for him
Cox.
for sure.
Hugh.
I like John Cox and
Mungus.
Larry Elder.
Yeah.
But I don't-
Huge Rectus.
I don't got to worry
Yeah.
about that living in Florida now.
Humongous Cox.
Infamous with a $7. Just finished Pokemon Sword, and I'm about 60% of the way through my living decks. Have any of the Pokemon gamers on the panel thought of attempting one? I've done a living dex a few times.
The
Yeah.
fuck is a
Boring for
living
me.
dex?
What's the difference between just filling out the Pokedex and a living
So,
dex?
a
Because I've
living
finished
dex-
the dex.
A living dex means that in your sitting boxes in your game, you have one of each of every evolution a Pokemon type in your or Pokemon species in your boxes in the game.
It's also
Okay, so
not
yeah,
just
that would add
it's
a lot.
also different for the more extreme players. It's also different variations. If there's gender differences, they collect those as well.
Right.
Have to
Like
do a lot of breeding.
Like a female Pikachu has a different tail than a male Pikachu, so you'd have to have a Pichu, male Pikachu, female Pikachu, and so on. So
How long till we get transsexual Pokemons?
don't give them any ideas.
Those are
man.
they have the non-binaries
just
already.
said.
Those are the
Don't-
legendaries.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm
Non-binary
just
and
upset by
ditto.
everything that was said.
Yeah, ditto.
They have the
that's-
And
tweener.
ditto.
Ditto's just a whore.
Tweeners. Thank you, Krista.
Tweener
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Thank you. Eric K with the $2 says 5,000 cc. We need 5-liter Mario Kart. Thank you, Eric K. That's retarded. Thank you for the $2. The Miki will inherit the earth with the $5. Besides what Mario Kart veterans, millennials think of free roam, what's the general consensus of free roam from the younger, newer generation? We don't know.
That's a good question.
Yeah, we don't know.
Who gives
This is a
fuck
good question,
what they
though.
think?
Thank you for the $5. Real
Who
quick, I
gives
do
a
want to
fuck?
bring
Like,
this
what are
up.
they gonna say to me?
I do want to bring this up while we still have time. We had the Xbox showcase a few days ago. As you guys know, Game Freak is the official developer of all Pokemon games. Game Freak announced a brand new game for the next gen. It's going to be on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. This is Game Freak. This is Pokemon, the Pokemon developer
This looks good.
with a brand new game for the next gen or current gen, I guess.
Rendering completed.
What?
The fuck was that?
You're rendering a video right
What are you rendering?
No,
What are you rendering?
That was in the video.
I don't think so.
It was.
Are you watching porn?
Rendering completed. Your porn
So
video
this
has
is
finished
this is
loading.
Unreal
Porn
5.
is ready.
This
That
is
was
Unreal
great.
5.
The porn
so,
is ready.
Your porn
so
is ready.
although it's Game
Your
Freak,
AI porn has been rendered.
shut the
gay
fuck
porn
up,
is
Phil.
ready.
I'm starting to side with Mike. Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
So
Racism!
consider this is Game Freak, but also this is Unreal 5.
What?
But this is the Pokemon developers right here.
Oh.
This looks
Wow.
incredible.
I have
Did you
nothing
not know
against
that they
Unreal 5.
actively develop other games? Like, this isn't the first time they've ever released something.
Savvy, shut up.
I'm just
Can you
saying,
mute
she's
her?
not a real
Saying,
game
I'm
freak
just
fan.
bringing up a good point.
Let's react Twitch.
I watched this already.
It looks great.
It really does.
So,
Isn't this song copyrighted?
It's not my channel.
Bro,
we'll just keep talking over it, and we don't get in trouble.
Beast of Reincarnation.
Meh.
I got told to shut up, so I can't talk over.
Good.
Can't.
You're starting to
You're not
learn.
allowed to talk.
No, I'm not.
You're not allowed to talk because you're a
The
woman.
Japanese girl.
Okay,
Well,
so
no.
Xbox,
That's true, you do have a
Xbox,
penis
Steam,
to
and PlayStation. So
Look how
not
they
on
worded.
Nintendo.
How
Switch,
interesting.
yeah.
Hey, Jed, look how they worded. Xbox PC.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
An Xbox certified
You guys just got
PC.
done screaming at Jed about how he was wrong, and now you're
yeah.
See, I could
So-
see it.
So part of the conversation after the Xbox showcase yesterday is Nintendo the ones holding Pokemon back? Because the gripe for Pokemon for the past several years is the whole open world not being there, and then you get Scarlet Violet and Arceus to an extent, the graphics and everything, and then you get Pal World, which is open world and it's a little bit more realistic as far as the creativeness or the what's it called, like Ark survival. What's the word I'm looking for? Survival.
Yeah,
survival.
survival
you,
game.
man.
The
No
survival.
fucking clue.
So
Open world survival crafting game.
So is Nintendo, is it not Game Freak holding themselves back, but is it Nintendo holding Game Freak back?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, so there's 3 companies involved with Pokemon. There's the Pokemon Company, there's Game Freak, and then there's Nintendo. Nintendo and the Pokemon Company are the ones who bully Game Freak.
Mhm.
So they have a certain aesthetic that they need to adhere to, and then the same 300 to 400 people who have been working on Pokemon for a while, that's just the size of their team. So they try not to cycle people in and out as much. So When we saw the big leak from them, they had games in very different styles. Now, those are obviously very small things. They're not fully fleshed out worlds, but the aesthetics were completely different. So we know that they're capable of cooking real good. And if you knew anything about Game Freak, you'd know that they have multiple games that have come out, and they all look very different from Pokemon. So I think it's a bit of Pokemon Company. I think it's actually not Nintendo. That's the big problem. I think that they try to control narrative or what they put into it. But in terms of aesthetic, it's the Pokemon Company doing that, not Game Freak.
Well, it could still be Nintendo partially because of what the Switch up to this point was capable of. I don't think the Switch could have done what we just saw in that trailer there. So at least up until the Switch.
What happened?
Xenoblade exists.
Yeah, Xenoblade exists.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that completely destroys that narrative. Otherwise, I agree with you. I think that, obviously there are limitations, but Xenoblade.
Yeah, there are limitations to the Switch, and yeah, Xenoblade is really good at finding ways to get around that.
Yeah,
but not every company does.
So if you've ever dug through the files of Pokemon games, the structure and the assets, there's a lot of repeating assets. It's highly unoptimized. You'd actually think that they were just rushing. Like the entire structure, the file structure of Pokemon is a nightmare.
Yeah, but for like a mainline Pokemon game, as far as like the new generations go, as far as the Switch has come out, you get a new gen every 2 or 3 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 2. I think it's like
2.
I think leave Game Freak out of it. I do think that the Pokemon Company and Nintendo collaborate on keeping it more anime related, as far as like the anime TV show, keeping like the cartoony nature of it. I don't think that they want to take the next step into the hyper realistic,
which they shouldn't.
And I agree with that. Yeah. 100%. I agree with that. I am perfectly okay. We all say graphics does not top gameplay. So I'm perfectly okay with Pokemon staying the cartoony, childish kind of like nature of the graphics.
I wish that they didn't abandon Sword and Shield. I just wish that they had built on it. I hate the way that the NPCs and the humans look. I think that the previews that we've seen for Legends ZA is an improvement, but it still kind of taps into that sort of realistic look that I don't think, like, they shouldn't abandon the anime look.
I think Legends ZA looks identical to the same engine that Scarlet Violet is.
Yeah, it's on the same engine, but they just they have better topology on some of the human characters, and I think that the lighting is done a little bit better. I mean, they've obviously tweaked it. It's better, but it's still not. Give me Sword and Shield again. We were too hard on it.
I think the game looks like another Souls-like game, and I'm kind of getting
this one.
On this.
Oh yeah, the thing that they're working on,
Yeah.
Like,
it just
this
looks like
one.
another Souls.
What's it called?
Like
Beast of Reincarnation.
Yeah, it just
looks
looks
like they're
great
trying to
title
do
in English.
It looks like they're trying to do Souls and Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
combined.
I'm not interested in either of those things for another game. I want something different or unique. If it was, I would love like a more action-based like combat game again, instead of everything having to be like Souls like in super hyper difficulty and every time you rest, like enemies regenerate and stuff. I don't know. I want something different, man. I feel like, let FromSoft do their thing, and maybe if you have an interesting idea for some of that stuff, but I mean, like, I don't know, at some point you got to stop trying to copy people that are doing other things and find something kind of your own to do. And it doesn't even mean you need to reinvent the wheel on stuff, but it's like, I'll use the most popular game right now, Expedition 33. It doesn't do anything particularly new. It borrows a lot of mechanics from other games that work well together, but the aesthetic, the story, what it's trying to do with the story is interesting.
the music.
And the music is great and stuff. It's just, but every time I see another game come out and I see combat, it always like, is this going to be another Souls like game? Is this going to be another one of these?
Ghost of Tsushima.
I want something. I just want something different, man. I just want something that feels, I don't know, unique and different. And maybe this will be it. Maybe it'll have some really cool mechanics in it and stuff like that. But it just feels like a lot of studios just copy what's popular right now, not necessarily because that's the direction they really want to take the gameplay in. So
yeah, it doesn't feel like a project of passion. It feels like they said, "Oh, this is doing really good again, so I guess we should try it."
Yeah. Yep, a lot of game companies does that. Like, and that's the reason why whenever we get passion projects, we get something like Killer Instinct for the Xbox, right? That was like Double Helix and Iron Galaxy basically came together and made a fucking fan project. And basically now the Double Helix guys are working on that new Invincible game. So it's actually going to be really cool. And it's going to be it's going to be another 3v3 fighter. But the thing is that we haven't had a lot of really good like I guess you would say cross tag kind of games in quite some time. And now you're getting a new IP and you're getting a new company or dev that actually has a very, very good track record for Killer Instinct now working on a game like that, which is actually really cool. So I'm looking forward to a lot of stuff. If it's done right, I think it can be done. But I do agree with Mike. There's a lot of bloat with a lot of Souls-like games out there.
Yeah. I got a question for Savvy too. Well, for anybody going back to Pokemon Legends Z to A, that game is going to release on Switch 1 as well. And if we've seen the performance upgrade, now we have seen the performance upgrades from Scarlet and Violet on the Switch 2 as compared to how it performed on the Switch 1. We get a brand new entry, Legends Z to A, which is probably, as far as data-wise, going to be much larger in Legends Z to A than Scarlet Violet was. What are the concerns for it performing on Switch 1?
So I think that it'll run exactly the same way as Scarlet and Violet did. They are so painfully unable to optimize anything. I think you're going to have the same funny, if they have a windmill in the background, it's going to be a slideshow. It's going to do
look
that.
like a hand clock.
Yeah, I honestly expect Switch 2 to actually have issues, not because it's the Switch 2, but because it's them. They just can't they can't optimize. I don't know what the problem is with that. I don't know why they aren't organizing the files. I don't know what their timetables look like. They shouldn't have to reconstruct so much. They should be able to actually reuse some of the base assets, just change some textures. But they create everything brand new or whatever, and I don't know. I'm not expecting a smooth launch, basically. Now I would love a smooth launch. I hope that it goes well, but I'm just not expecting it, which I guess keeps my expectations low.
Bill,
I like that you, Beardo and Savvy are having a very good conversation without yelling over each other.
It's wholesome.
It's nice.
When it comes to Pokemon, it's pretty civil.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to ZA.
Lots in common.
Yeah, you guys do.
So as far as Pokemon Legends Z to A on the Switch 2, I do think that the launch is going to be pretty smooth. I am expecting like an early patch or a day one patch. You plug it in, you're going to have to update it, and whatever patch it's going to have. I do think that it's going to have a pretty smooth launch on the Switch 2. I worry for the Switch 1, like big time, to the point where people are going to uninstall it and not play it until they can afford to get a Switch 2. So that's how I think about it.
I'm going to get it for both, I think. So that way I can compare the performance.
Okay. Interesting. Any final thoughts on that before we get into the super chats? Dan?
I like retro games.
I'm kind of sick of Phil.
Bro, you can't just say that.
I mean, we were fine for a while there, but I'm just kind of,
What happened, man? What happened? Like, what did it do to you?
I don't know, man. He's just trying to start stuff,
It's like an amalgamation of
He's always
small
up
things.
to something, I like look over there and I'm like, what is he doing?
It's like, why is he always squinting? He's
why is he always squinting like that? He's up to something.
What's up with his funny accent?
Yeah, you can't trust these guys.
Yeah, especially from California. Yeah.
Yeah.
A funny expression, a funny Brazilian expression to someone who's up to something? It's like you say, so Phil plays dad to fuck the gravedigger.
What?
See, in English, that's just suspicious.
Why do we let the Brazilians say things again?
It's a common Brazilian saying.
That
when
doesn't
someone.
What is it? What are the Portuguese words?
It's like finge de morto pra fuder o coveiro.
Dude, that made me so angry. Whatever you just said.
What is a Portuguese word for suspicious? Do you ever call somebody suspicious in Portuguese, or does that not exist?
Suspeito.
And is that common for somebody that you don't trust?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm about to call the Brazilian government, bro. I don't know what he said.
Then we'll get 8 years for that.
To fuck the gravedigger.
Phil plays that to fuck the gravedigger. It's like he's up to something.
I don't like that at all.
I like the phrase. I think it's fun.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Morbid.
So like you specifically use it to someone who plays dumb.
Yeah.
Savvy's gonna start drawing on her tablet a fucking corpse fucking the gravedigger.
You know who
No, I don't
fits
draw
perfectly?
necrophilia.
You know who fits perfectly into that description?
Jeremy.
Jay.
Oh, Jay.
What?
Jay definitely plays
Yeah,
that.
Jay-
to
that's
fuck the
actually-
Jay's
gravedigger.
having sex with a gravedigger.
Oh!
Now, why is that? Explain.
Jay's not as dumb as he pretends to be.
Okay.
That is actually
sure.
true. Yeah,
So he's
Jay's actually really
suspicious.
fucking
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little suspicious.
Yeah, Jay always pretends like he's like, I don't know what's going on, but he does. He always
Exactly.
He does.
Exactly. He plays dead to fuck the gravedigger.
Stop saying that like it's a real saying.
Yeah.
It
and
is.
When Dan says digger, it sounds dirty.
Yeah.
Everything Dan says sounds dirty. I'm gonna be honest.
Why?
You know why?
I don't.
Dan in his video, Kesion!
Yeah.
When he gets his
Ooh.
monkey.
I think Mike's just saying that because he's aroused by everything Dan says.
No, it's the way like in that video.
It's
like,
okay,
the way
it
he threw
happens.
down that
It's
monkey
coming.
and he looked at his girlfriend. Like you knew, like he was like.
Dan was gonna punch.
Yeah, he was like,
You turn on me in my own house.
You are with him.
They steal my fruits, and you mock me to my face.
you're with the monkey.
You are with the monkey.
You with the
You
enemy.
brought him here to kill me.
You brought him here to kill me.
Oh man.
You're with him.
All right, we're gonna power through the super chats here. Is everybody good? We're all good. Anybody need to bounce?
Sure.
We're chilling.
Yeah, sure.
All right, here we go.
Sure.
River Miles. Sure. River Miles with the 5. Mike, how much faster are your laps after shaving the weight off of 1 foot?
Actually, that's not the way you want to do that because I play Wario because he's fat and he has a higher top speed. So
With 0 acceleration.
So you like
Zero, yeah.
representation in video games?
yeah. Listen, the other thing about this Mario Kart thing that bothers me is Wario's character is so fucking fat that he doesn't fit in a half of the carts. And if you look at his model, he clips through the back and sides of the cart all the time. I'm like, how did you not design the game
He's
that
got
he
a
doesn't
big
clip through the
dumpy.
cart? They could have left him fat and still had him clipping through the fucking carts.
It's like those fat women in planes.
Yeah,
man.
bro. Like, it, like
2 seats.
one of the one of the fucking carts has like a little engine on the back, and his fat roll peeks out of the back of the engine when he rolls backwards.
All right, boys.
Yeah.
I didn't make this game.
Phil my Kraken with a $5 says they should have made to where you find racers in the open world and you have to race them to unlock them.
I would have
Yeah,
loved
but they
that,
didn't.
dude.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah, that would actually been kind of rad. Yeah, if you're like, oh shit, I got to race this guy now, and they all have like on a map that like favors them or something. Yeah.
Edwin with the 45. I'm very disappointed that my boy Leon ain't the main character in the new RE game. I swear Resident Evil is allergic to patrilineal.
Patrilineal.
Patrilineal. That's the word. Patrilineal arcs. Never father to son.
Well, it's a new one for you.
Well,
man, but-
for Resident Evil, the game doesn't come out till February next year. They have time, and I think that they are specifically hiding some of the Leon gameplay for their own Capcom showcase. Is
this still going to be
my
first
theory.
person?
First person is going to be the point of view. Correct. Yep.
I actually like first person. I mean, I get why people like third person as well, but I do kind of enjoy the first person when it comes to the horror.
So third person is more Resident Evil feel, but first person makes it much more scary. For sure.
100%.
This one looks
Yeah.
very scary.
I like that I can't just turn around and look back over my shoulder because of the camera and stuff.
Mhm. I also like that we're getting away from like the obscure monsters, like you got your vampires, you got your magic users like Heisenberg was, and you're getting away from like the werewolves and the lichens and stuff. Like we're going back to zombies, infected. That's what I like that we're getting back to in Resident Evil.
I didn't know Resident Evil went to all that. Sounds
I
like
haven't played it yet, but
in
I
Village.
sounds more like Castlevania than Resident Evil.
In Village, you have like shapeshifters. You have what's the word? Vampires, and then also like werewolves and the lichens and stuff. So very minimal actual zombie characters.
Sounds like
none.
a haunted house.
Almost no zombies in Resident Evil Village.
Really?
Yeah.
There is, but they're like these side zombies on your way to the dollhouse.
I had to pull my headphones out because I haven't played 8 yet, so I don't know anything about it.
Not even the smart
Well,
zombies
good luck
from
because
Resident
it's
Evil
broken
4?
on Steam. Village is broken on Steam right now. Yeah, that's the
What's
problem I was
X-Wing
running into.
talking about?
I'll have to try it out and see what happens.
Thank you, Edwin, for the 45.
I have to play Silent Hill 2 remake first, so
I want to play that too. That's on my list.
I really don't want to. I'm so fucking scared.
T600 Tiny Todd with the $5 says at least they left out the pit stop idea, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Huh?
Thank you for the $5. Superfly with the 5. Could open world be used to practice wall ride techniques and find shortcuts? Krista?
Yes.
Yes.
That's
yes,
the
you
best
can.
place to do it. Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Thank you for the 5. Edwin with another 45. Life has recently been kicking my butt with school, etc. 19 years old. You guys help me in a way to keep me so distracted. Love y'all. No Diddy. Hey.
Great stuff, man.
That's part of the
Shout out.
experience of being 19 years old, man.
You're young, man.
That's part of the experience. Appreciate it while it lasts.
Yeah.
Just appreciate your youth.
Yep.
Yep.
Thank you for the 45. Quagmire with a 2 says, Phil, I understand.
The 2 inches.
Mike spoke like a vampire. Like, appreciate your youth. Thank you.
Appreciate the age.
Meg Guinevere Pixie with a $5. You can unlock mirror mode in free roam. Go to Peach's Castle and go through the stained glass window. Boom, flips a world. I bet 200cc will be better.
Are you kidding
Thank
me?
you for the 5. I don't think it's all that easy.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's
I
not-
tried
it's
that
not that
before
easy.
unlocking everything. Yeah.
No. Thank you for the 5.
Krista knows because she's like an
little-
expert at this game now.
Little Jim's Ringo Halo with a $2 says, why you look so sad, Beardo? Is Savvy's PC affecting you? I'm not sad. I mean, I'm a little upset that my non-existent girlfriend didn't give me a toy monkey, but that's about it.
What happened?
I'm not sad. I look good.
What are we doing?
SSJ
name
Lalo
is
with the
Sergio.
5 months says, Dan wasn't able to get one because he has low testosterone and is also super gay.
One what?
Switch 2?
A super
monkey?
switch.
I have a Switch
The
too.
Super Switch.
You do?
Yeah.
Where'd you get it?
I got it the next day. Just
Liar.
didn't get the pre-order.
I
Have
don't
you
believe
played
it.
Mario Kart yet?
No, unfortunately, I couldn't find the bundle, but
Okay.
I still won't pay $80 for it because that's something that we don't talk about enough. There's Nintendo vouchers. Do you guys know
Yeah.
what that is?
I do.
Yeah, you can buy like a pair of Nintendo vouchers for $100, and basically like it's worth two first party games.
Yep.
And it's like you'll be paying $50 for any game that you want.
Also, it's a bummer because that means that Dan will not be able to get his hands on an exclusive commemorative day one Nintendo Switch 2
I'll buy that one
launch
from you.
coin. All right.
All right.
Exclusive. All right, I'll sell it to you.
Yeah, I'll sell it right to you.
All right.
All right, you've twisted my arm hard enough. Let's do it.
I'll give you $10.
Okay, listen now. You're being a little ridiculous. Okay. It's obviously a lot more than that.
Okay. For how much would you sell it to me?
I don't fucking know, Dan. I was kidding.
Thank you, SSJ Lalo. Eric K with the 2 says, I am waiting to buy the Super Switch 2. You're going to be waiting a while, man. Beardo's Tiny Antenna with the 2. Thank you, Krista. Says, it's okay, Beardo. Tweeners are smaller. Thank you for the 2.
What was that picture? It went away so fast.
Yeah.
No.
I already highlighted it.
Okay.
It was a 2-inch antenna.
Freddie
Tiny
Del
penis.
Taco with a $5. By the way, Del Taco is superior to Taco Bell.
Shut
Find
your
out-
whore mouth.
It's
That's
true.
incorrect.
It's
It's
true.
true.
It's true. Thank you, Phil.
Incorrect.
Del Taco is superior to Taco Bell.
Phil
100%.
doesn't know
No.
anything about
Yes, it is.
tacos. He's fucking
does.
Korean.
Del Taco
Uh,
is bland as ass.
Go
Shout
back
out to my
Korea.
favorite
Listen,
geeks,
shout out
nets,
to
and
Jed.
weirdos.
Bring in the heat.
No, Del Taco is superior. Shout out to my favorite geeks, nets, and weirdos. Mucha love you. Mucho love to you all. Thank you for the 5.
I don't speak that language. What does that mean?
Grulgar with a 5. Brenda is just salty because they didn't get a free PC. Brenda.
He called
who
you
the fuck is
Brenda.
that?
Oh my god, that's
He called you
amazing.
Brenda.
It doesn't matter. Mine's still better than Savvy's. Doesn't
I
matter.
don't think
That's
it
actually
is.
not true.
Mine is. Savvy
That's
sent
not
me her
true.
specs.
Oh
I
my
know what
gosh,
her
that
PC
picture.
is. Beardo's Big
What graphics
Brutal
card do you
Banana
have?
Butt Sex Bonanza with a $5
He has a
says
50 I think
slinging,
it's a 5070
slagging.
Ti.
Is it what?
I think
57?
Mine?
it's a 50, 70.
My-
Yeah, what do you have?
My processor?
No, your graphics
GPU.
card.
My graphics card is a 4070 Ti Super.
Oh.
Ah, get wrecked, bitch! I got a 4080.
Yeah,
Fuck off.
that you didn't pay for.
I have a 40.
No, actually,
Um,
I did actually. That
No,
one.
you
It
didn't.
is from
Yeah,
what
no,
I
I
see.
did. I got it 2 years ago. when it
Slinging,
came out.
slagging,
No one cares that I have a
sloggity
4090.
slate. Beardo just loves to make bananas straight. Thank you for the 5.
49ers are actually like the best graphics card on the market. The 59ers are not that good compared
Yeah,
to
don't
That's
upgrade.
better than the
Upgrade.
5090.
Yeah.
it runs better for a lot of things. Yeah, the
Yeah,
5090s
that's crazy.
are for AI mostly, and they cheat a lot. On
Boys, we are
I
at-
have
optimizations,
issues.
Boys, we're at 3 hours. Okay,
Yeah,
let's power
that's
through.
awesome, man.
Colorado Kid with the 5. I got 199 problems, but CobraCast ain't won today. Tuesday night's main event for the win. Thank you for the 5. Wizard
What
Man
happened?
with the $5. Thoughts on the Xbox Ally X? The only benefit I saw was that I could use GOG and BattleNet. I personally think it's a test for cloud gaming. Yeah, we went over it a little
That's
bit.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're very correct. I think that is the case.
Joe G's fucking awesome.
Hephaestus Rising with a $2 says human eye plus mind can see and perceive up to 240 FPS. Thank
So
you for the
yeah,
$2.
the average is 30, but there are people who can see up higher. So yeah, the human eye can see up to 1,000 is what I've seen before, but those are the exception rather than the rule. But that's absolutely correct.
Yeah,
240
above
people
60, I have a hard time noticing.
can. It depends on the eye. So maybe I just have
What
shitty
the fuck
eyes.
did you just say, Dan?
Above 60 FPS, I have a hard time noticing.
I heard.
Oh,
I heard
thought-
you the first time.
I thought you insulted me. I was just gonna get mad again, but
Yeah.
Nagranol with the 5.
fuck
When will
Mike.
they learn that you can't please everyone, but you can piss off everyone? Very true.
I
Very
live by
true.
that motto.
X-Wing is the stupid name with the 199 says our truth is the only truth that matters. Shout out to our
That's
truth,
true.
man. He's
Dude,
had
I
in
am
3
so
days
happy
he
for
had
him.
2 bangers, man.
I'm so proud of him, bro. He brought the heat, man. Like
The Singing Tigs with a 2. You can listen to one band forever. Who? Dan, No Man of War.
Maybe the official Manowar cover then.
huh?
That
Okay,
cheating?
got you.
I'm going to
Gotcha.
say Dan Vass because there's a wide variety under him.
There you go.
there
Then
you
you can
go.
listen to a bunch of things.
There you go. Thank you for the 2.
Thank you.
Azexa with the 5. The irony is pandering to the people he apologized to is what killed the first-person genre. Oh, you're not
Yeah.
wrong, man. That's a good.
Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it. Mike's 8-inch cake with the 2 says, "I like you too, Phil." Jake Skywalker with the 199. Beardo likes watching men eat weenies. Roblox head Leslie Hedlund with the
Just said it
12
like
months.
that.
Beardo is the 9-time hot dog swallowing contest. He likes mayonnaise on the tips only. Thank you for the 12 months. Black
was
Game
like,
with the $5. Fear the extra chromosome always says he can win a contest and then refuses to actually participate in said contest like the coward he is. Go look up the hot chip eating contest on Geeks and Gamers. Thank you. The Milkman with the
please
5.
don't.
Beardo
Wait, what's for
watches
members?
skinny dudes shovel wieners down their throats every day. No, not every day. Once a year. I knew you told people about
of July.
corn and bananas, but wow, man, congratulations! Thank you for the $5. The Singing Tigs with the 2. Dan is the monkey, the girlfriend you've told us about. Cute. What? Thank you for the 2.
What?
Eddie M with the 2. Savvy has chimp feet. Miki has none. Thank you.
Okay,
Boba
look,
Fett
why
with the
wouldn't
5.
you use your feet?
Beardo doesn't celebrate 4th of
What?
July, but celebrates the fucking Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Sounds about right. I celebrate both.
That's
Superfly with the
crazy,
5.
bro.
Pokemon Quiz Challenge. How far can you name all Pokemon in numerical order? No cheating.
Ooh.
Now, that is a stream for another day. Thank you for the 5. The Singing Tigs with the 2. Beware women who ride Phil are Ona Slippery Slope. Thank you for the $2. Nick Rogue with the 5. 1. Savvy, don't ever show your feet again.
Can't
2.
promise.
Mike's scream is very gay. 3. Seriously, Savvy, don't. And 4. Savvy, change your shorts.
Make me
Thank
bed.
you for the 5. Apollo
Make
Monopoly
her
within
batch
11 months. Jeremy, the
batch.
homosexual man, chokes on spaghetti for the texture. Thank you.
Yikes.
Francis Lyons with the 34 months. You can tell a lot about a woman by her hands, for example. If they're around your throat, then she's probably angry with you. Or she's just excited. Harbinger with the $5. The ROG Ally, to me, seems like they're trying to lean more into their play anywhere catchphrase. They've been leaning this way for a while. Thank you for the 5. Sean Jackson with the $5. ROG Ally is an existing handheld, Steam Deck's biggest competitor, just an existing device with an Xbox logo. You can already Game Pass on an Ally.
Really?
Thank you for the 5. Random commentator with a $10. Jed, I 100% agree with you. They're going to do it. This handheld is the first step. Microsoft will license the Xbox logo to other manufacturers. It'll look cool, but just be a regular gaming computer.
Yep.
I
never said they went
them.
a third party. They could 100% third party that. It's just Xbox certified gaming PC.
Yeah, maybe different specs, different types with different specs for different budgets.
Drakenwolf with the 4 months. Question for Madam Talons. Have you ever used a Wacom drawing tablet before? Any apps you recommend? And if so? And she's not here, so thank you for the 4 months. She doesn't care.
She fucking left, bro. What are you
Harbinger with
doing?
the $5. Mike, Super Switch still sounds cool. Wouldn't mind a Super Mega Dreamcast. Thank you for the $5.
Bring back the Dreamcast.
Schick with the 9 months. X-Wing has the fever of more cowbell. Thank you for the 9 months. Jay Tinsel with a $10. I walked in a public restroom earlier and was subjected to a guy at the urinal, one hand stance on the wall, vocalizing his relief, saying, "Get in there," and said, "I'm a riot hard inside my stepmom tonight." Thank you for the $10. Empty-headed for a 19 months. Beardo. Ogre's Feet, top 6 normal type Pokemon. I don't know. I don't know, man. Off the top of my head, I'm reading super chats. Jed, do you have Rumble?
That's crazy.
I do. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Warbreer with a $2 says taints are also between thighs. Thank you for the 2. Beardo's war against tweeners with the $5. For clarification, my thumbnail is Beardo kissing the tip of a hot dog before eating it. Thank you for the 5. Teresa Young with the $5. Sexual chocolate was Mark Henry, not our truth. Thank you.
Yep.
Hot Dudes looking for Epic Miki with a $10.
Deep
Thought you
voice,
got rid
deep
of me,
voice.
Miki. I'm like a good case of herpes. I'll always come back. You need to return my calls. I have our Elton John tickets.
Look at that.
Hey.
Thank you for the 10.
Hey. Say something, Mike.
Ghost to a Ghost
encourage
recommitted.
him.
Thank you, Ghost to a Ghost. Greedy Graffiti with the $5. New drinking game. Drink a shot of tequila every time Savvy gives a new definition of tweener. You'd be fucking wasted. Scrib Ice Steak with a $2. 2 words. WRT Nintendo holding GF back Monolith Soft. Thank you for the $2. Jesus Davila gifted a membership. Thank you, Jesus Davila. Beardo 3PO with that's crazy, dude. That's crazy.
That's wild.
Beardo 3PO with the 2 says keep it moving, and the quartering's fat. He's a little overweight. Eggy Orphan with the $5 says Phil, nice to see you taking a break from your rooftop. Hope you're safe.
Thank you.
Thank you for the 5.
Tokyo yesterday.
X-Wing with a $10 says infected. I heard Dan Vask has an infection.
You do?
Hey, man, I told you that in secrecy.
You told him that when he was fucking the Gravedigger. Yu-Gi-Oh! Wolverino with a $5 says on Steam, Resident Evil 9 is listed as 2 interesting tags. Third-person shooter and first-person shooter. I think we'll have different gameplay for Ashcroft and Leon and Jill. Or maybe you just turn one on and off. Maybe you'll have your choice.
Yeah.
Thank you for the $5.
It's going to be like a Village. They have like 2
I was
versions.
gonna say, didn't Village? Somebody said that Village has that. You can go in the third.
So on launch, Village was first person only, and then you had to buy the gold edition with the DLC, and then you unlocked third person. So maybe Resident Evil 9 will have both options at launch. We'll see. VHS Capture with the $10 says been debating with these TikTok people. Send backup. Good luck, bro. Good luck, brother, man. Good luck. Keys with a 23 months is just lurking and enjoying. Thank you all for what you do.
Thank you.
Thank you for the 23 months. Justin Martens with the 5. Ever notice how we've never seen Mike and Phil or the ambiguously gay duo at the same place at the same time? Very interesting. Thank you for the 5.
Ambiguously?
That's what I said. Nick Rogue with the $2 says name the time and place, biatch.
Ooh.
Who you talking about?
I think that was too savvy.
That was too savvy?
Yeah. I think
Oh, is this about the shorts?
Yeah.
Well, I don't
Probably,
leave my
yeah.
basement, so.
Thank you for the 2. Jacoby Monsoon with a 15 months. I just don't care about the riots anymore. Beardo way fat. Thank you. And Jed, Rumble?
All right, we have a $1 Rumble rant from Derek PG saying the video of Dan's girlfriend gifting him the monkey was cute. Probably would have been cuter if I understood Spanish. I don't think that's going to help you.
It's not Spanish.
We also have a $1 from East Coast Toasty Boy. I'll send over a hot guy from Greece to comfort little Mike.
No, I don't.
Make you feel better.
Little Mikey.
No.
Little Mikey.
It's
Little Mickey.
Little Mickey.
Bro, I
Oh,
hope
Mickey's
there
in
are
the
riots in
pocket.
all the cities now.
All right, we also have a $5 from Wesley1924 saying, congrats on the huge milestone last week, Jeremy. First Geeks and Gamers member ever to be eliminated from a knockout race. Congratulations.
Yes, he was. He was.
Yeah. That's all of them.
That's all of them. All right, boys. We're all caught up.
Wait, did you get my text?
Oh, that's right. That's we do have a Streamlabs. We have a Streamlabs.
Oh.
We have a yes, we have a brand new one. How many is it? All 3?
Mm-hmm.
You knock them on.
Yeah, knock them on.
Yep.
All right. And Aquaman with $3, total of 9. Simple math here. Part 1. Yesterday, my buddy said he needs to help freeing a large bird that got caught in a clothesline. Turns out it was Savvy. When I went to cut her loose, she started to freak out. Like her cousin, the vulture, she started to vomit on me for self-defense. I had to tranquilize, aka pistol whip, her before cutting her loose. We threw her in back of my buddy's truck and drove her to a field to release her. Still groggy from the trank concussion, I got her to perch on my falcon glove and feed her weasel chunks. She let out a happy squeaks. Once she recovered, she stood up. She caught sight of a 2RO, a rabbit, let out a yeah, and chased into the woods. It took hours. Hose off the stench of vomit and BO, but it was worth the help of one of the god's lesser creatures. Thank you, Anakmaman.
What a kind thing to do.
What a nice story.
What a great story. Thank you,
Incidentally,
Anakmaman.
forever getting
What was it
kidnapped vomiting is a great way to
That's
get
crazy.
your perpetrator off of you.
Yeah, piss in your pants. Too.
I never tried.
Taking off
I-
your doesn't help though.
Well, now,
Listen, if you get attacked in the street, just piss your pants. Like
No,
it's
piss your pants and then drop
That
to
is-
the ground and just do the crocodile roll. Like seriously, people you'll get left alone.
So
That's
just
right.
act like a
Somebody
crack
going crazy.
addict and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then the
and
riot.
now we have a clear strategy of how to get rid of a Madam Savvy in the wild. Thank you guys so much for being here for Tuesday night's main event. Shout out to all of the super chatters, everybody who gifted memberships, the recommitments, and the member messages. Madam Savvy, what the hell have you got going on this next week?
I'm actually going to be streaming. I'm multi-streaming on YouTube and Kick, and I'm going to be doing some art streams too. But tomorrow we're going to be talking about some more wonderful conspiracies. So you can check me out there and find me on Twitter at Madam Savvy. Yay.
Thank you. I see Jo the Stormtrooper says, Geeks and Gamers, you skipped my super chat. I read all the super chats that populated in StreamYard. So if you just want to drop it in the chat right now, you don't have to super chat again, and I will read whatever you super chatted. Sorry about that. Epic Mike.
Yeah, so I'm playing through the Resident Evil 7 DLC right now, just to kind of finish that off, and then pretty soon here going to be starting Silent Hill 2. I also might be jumping in a couple games of Elden Ring Night Rain as well.
Nice.
Pretty soon. So
Have you played it yet?
That's what we got. I have not yet. Nope.
It's great.
Yeah.
Don't listen to the hate. It's fantastic.
No, I definitely want to play it, and I know, like we almost did that one day, and I got busy. But yeah,
Yep.
if there's crews that are down to play, I'll play it. So yeah,
Shout
That's what I
out.
got.
Go check out Epic Miki over on YouTube.
fuck.
Dan Vask.
The track with Ripa is coming out real soon. Stay tuned for content.
Speak of
both-
the devil.
Speak of the devil.
Hey, what's up? I know I'm right on time. Show's just getting started, right?
We are doing outros right now.
Yeah, I just showed Ripa the final version of the master.
That's all I
of
wanted to
the
come
track.
and talk about. It's
Yeah,
fucking
what-
amazing, y'all.
Is it actually good? Did you do a good job?
It's insane. This song's
Alright.
gonna blow people's fucking mind. I'm not even
Dan,
Yeah,
I want you
I'm
to
excited.
email it to me. If that's cool. If that's cool, Dan, I wouldn't mind you
show it to
emailing
you.
it to me.
I can show
Yeah.
it to you.
What
Yeah.
about
Thank
me?
But you
I'm an
see,
actual
now everybody's
musician.
gonna want to like.
I'm an actual musician.
Oh, that's right. You played the drums, right?
Yeah.
Ah, interesting.
Beardo, do you play any instruments?
I played the recorder in 3rd grade.
He plays his
I need to
I
see
play
that.
the kazoo. Can I
played
see it?
Chat,
Don't
chat.
you
Should I show it
shut
to
the
Mike
fuck
or
up.
Beardo?
Don't
Should I show it to
fucking do
Mike or Beardo? Chat, let me know.
Well, since Rip is here, Rippa, what do you got to talk about? What do you want to plug, man?
Well, yeah, the real thing I want to plug for sure is this song that Dan and I have worked on. It's been a long time coming. I know a lot of people have asked about it. You're gonna love it. It is really, really good. It's heavy. I can't wait to show it off to you guys soon enough. We'll have some announcements surrounding that. But other than that, I appreciate everybody continuing to show support for really everything that we got going. Yaira 3 is about to close out Friday. We got Saints and Sinners doing great. And what else is live? Oh yeah, the Represine, the issue number 4. So appreciate everybody showing love. Ice on 3 for the most part has been delivered to everybody, and we've been seeing your reviews. You guys seem to love it, and I'm glad. So I appreciate all of y'all. But yes, soon the song with Dan and I, you're gonna love it. Promise you.
Oh yeah. I had JT. Here we go. So this was his super chat. Says in Mario Kart World, there's over 200 themes from past Mario games. There's a lot of callbacks, man. There's a lot of Easter eggs. A lot of Easter eggs.
I haven't played this yet.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
check
thank
it out,
you.
Rip. I think you like it.
Wives. Do they have inside drifting bikes on this one?
I was gonna ask that.
I don't think the bikes are inside drifting. I think they're just regular bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the bikes are quick. I mean, there's not a lot of customization like there was in the other one.
Ripple was the only person that I ever saw playing those
Inside
bikes.
drifting? Yeah.
Real quick, Mike's Hangout with a $20 says, "Hey, Savvy and Beardo, I was wondering what type of Pokemon is Charizard? Is he a Dragon type, Flying type, or Fire type?" Thanks. He's Fire Flying. Unless you do have a Mega Evolution, then there's a Dragon Mega Evolution. Thank you, Mike's Hangout, for the $20. Francis Lyons with the 50 says, "Dan, I want a copy. When's the ETA? When does it drop?"
Soon. It's coming sooner than later. We can say that much. Like right around the corner. When I say
whose
it's right
channel?
around the corner.
Which channel?
There will be content on both channels.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah.
Ooh.
Nice. There you
And
go.
it's like not just a copy of the same content, different content.
Yeah.
On both
nice.
channels.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be content loaded. Like it's so much shit.
Different music videos for each channel.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Okay.
It's going to be fun. Like there's so yeah, keep tabs on Dan, my channel as well. You're going to get plenty of content surrounding this this music. I'm really excited.
Oh yeah.
Is it in any way, shape, or form tied to the Rippaverse?
I won't say yes or no.
Come on, man.
I won't say
this.
that.
I knew it.
Maybe yes, maybe no, but
maybe-
most likely, who knows?
Who knows, man? We'll see.
Listen, if you tell me now, I will give you this exclusive Switch 2 Day 1 commemorative launch coin. Nobody in the world has this.
I have one.
Krista
I
has
respect
one.
that.
Look at Phil.
I just pull mine out.
Phil
It's not
immediately.
real, Phil. He got it from Nintendo directly. He cheated.
Thank you,
Give
Francis
those to all
Lyons,
the
for the
Koreans.
$50. Harbinger with a 199 says, "Bardo plays the skin recorder." Thank you for that.
Bardo?
Thank you. Agent Orange with a 2 months says, "Savvy and Beardo, worst Pokemon generation, Gen 6. This is the worst Pokemon generation."
Gen 6. That's
Savvy,
Savvy's
I know.
pissed. Did you
Savvy,
see
I know
her?
you're partial to X and Y.
Yo.
Objectively, it's not even subject. It's objectively Gen 6
like
is
Sun
the
and
worst.
Moon.
Gen 6 is the worst.
Yikes, bro.
Gen 6 is the worst. You know it is
We'll
too.
be talking about this.
You know it is. You cannot deny it. Gen 6 is the worst. Roblox head Leslie Headland with the $2 says, "Beardo is good at phallic shaped instruments." It was 3rd grade, bro. Everyone was gay in 3rd grade.
What?
Kerrang with a
Where did you go to school?
What
Kerrang
school
with
are
the
you
$20.
going to?
Shut the
That was
fuck
gay.
up. Kerrang
Bro.
with a I didn't know it was gay. Kerrang with a $20 says, "Oh, it's Eric July, the lolbertarian without morals. Hey, bro, you can call me for spending all you want, but it will nothing without borders. Lawless rebel without morals."
I have no
Bro
idea what
spent
this guy's
$20.
trying. This is English?
That's too much, man. That's too much. We're wrapping it up, man.
He probably got hit in the head at one of the riots. He's just
It's too much. It's too much.
Are you here in LA?
One of the rocks.
You're just out here super chatting people.
You guys notice when Jeremy's not here, the show is 3 hours long. When Jeremy's here, it's 4 to 5 fucking hours. Okay, we're on track here.
I mean, when I was reading super chats, it was only 3 hours, but
that's not true. It was 4 hours. It was a 4-hour show. I was watching. Phil, Project Egg Roll, what do you got going on, Phil?
3-hour show.
Oh, yes. Tomorrow I'll be going live on my own channel. We will be playing Stellar Blade with mods, so that's gonna be insane. The crazy thing is, I just got an update that we have a curfew in LA.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, finally.
Yeah.
8 p.m.
Martial law.
Yeah, from 8 to 6. Yeah.
Nice.
That's crazy.
I thought nothing was going on. I thought the California officials said nothing's going on. What happened?
We're only 4 days late.
Yeah. But yes, I'll be playing Stellar Blade tomorrow, and playing with mods. I'll be playing it on my YouTube channel, and I'll be live on Kick as well. But yes.
Nice.
Oh yeah. What's the name of the channel, man?
Mr. Philip Chan 2.
Mr. Philip Chan 2. Mods, if we can plug Phil's channel, that'd be great. Jed, the Hollywood Scholar, what do you got going on, man?
Well, you can all find me on YouTube and Kick at Hollywood Scholar. This week for Saturday Night Drive-In, we're going to be talking about the musical classic, The Sound of Music. So tune into that at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Shout out. Go check out Hollywood Scholar. Krista Beep.
Hi. I don't know when I'll be live, but maybe sometime this week. I can't go live tonight because the weather is so bad. So Switch 2 stream happening this week soon. Stay tuned.
What are you playing?
Mario Kart World.
There you go. There you go.
Did that come out yet?
Yeah, yesterday.
Oh.
Yesterday.
It was recent.
Yeah. I love it.
I'll be live tonight. I'll be playing some more Pokemon Violet DLC over on my channel. And then tomorrow, Bro Science at 4 p.m. Eastern on my channel. Me, X-Wing, Drew Hernandez. We're talking about Resident Evil 9 Requiem. So that'll be a good time. But again, thank you guys so much for all the generosity tonight, the super chats, the gifted memberships, the recommitments, the mods, the members, the lurkers. Thank you guys so much. We're going to raid Tuesday night's main event over to CobraCast. D-Day Cobra's live
Anyone
streaming.
else streaming tonight? Only Beardo?
I'm streaming tonight. Anybody else going live tonight?
I'm not streaming tonight. No cooldown tonight.
There you go. There you go.
Head over to Beardo then.
There you go. I'll be playing some Pokemon tonight. We're going to raid you over to D-Day Cobra. He's doing some CobraCast covering the LA riots. Go check out the Rippaverse. Look forward to Dan Rippa collab. Shout out Mike, Savvy, Phil, Jed, and Krista. Thank you guys so much. But until the next stream, Geeks and Gamers Daily tomorrow, and Mario Kart World tomorrow night over on Geeks and Gamers Play, we will catch you on the next one. Bye, everyone. Catch you later.
Bye.
Savvy, say bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, okay. Don't.